Hello there. The reason we got a little bit of confusion here is because this is the last day of the year, and since it's called Match Game 75, we usually have some kind of a hoopla to go from Match Game... Charles! Now, wait a minute.
Hold it, folks.
No, wait, hold this.
As you can see, this is the spirit of Match Game 75.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Which has brought what?
It's the end of the year. We need Match Game 76. We're finished with Match Game.
Well, that is easily remedied.
Yeah. What are you going to do, Charles?
I might end 2 careers right here is what I'm going to do. Ah! Wait a minute. Hey!
Match Game 76.
Now, wait. If that doesn't work...
Yes?
We can go to Match Game 77.
Not yet.
And if that don't work, jolly in on 78 to bring laughter to people everywhere. Now, where is the nurse?
Yes. Now, would you lead everybody in a chorus of Auld Lang Syne? Yes.
May I say something?
Yes.
They look exactly like the Titanic 10 minutes before it went down.
No, they didn't. I want to thank all of all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Could all acquaintance be forgot for days of Auld Lang Syne? Hum a little bit, hum.
Happy New Year! As I should say, for like Eddie Murphy from Trading Places, Merry New Year! Bring us into the new year, George.
If it was a regular salad, I wouldn't have said anything. But you had to have that big salad!
And here's your producer and co-host, Ryan Klinger!
Thank you. Actually, most of you, well, I don't know, any of you, I guess I could say, this could be unique listeners, maybe not, have actually heard from me earlier this year. I think it was the 4th, 5th, when I posted the new episode of the podcast where I did the No Way Home review, and then I briefly mentioned the NBA, and it was a bit of a joke at the end. Have you listened to that episode yet?
No, I haven't. I'm a little behind. I was stuck in Christmas movie land for a while.
Oh, well, you're fine. Well, I won't ruin the joke at the end then for you.
Okay.
So,
there's no joke in the description?
well, there always is a joke in the description. I think, what did I put for that?
That's a good question.
I did put something interesting. I hope I put something interesting. I mean, I'm tooting my own horn when I say that.
You don't subscribe to your own thing?
I just don't use like YouTube with my like Google account. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I said, this was more of a descriptive one. It wasn't really that funny.
Yep.
It just says also lots of No Way Home and MCU ranking talk. Also NBA.
There you go.
Yeah, it was late at night when I uploaded that. Maybe
You were just burned out.
I was just like,
the
all
wick
right.
was burning at 2 ends, and it was over.
It's not time for jokes. It's time to get this pumped out.
No. Have a good Christmas, though?
Yeah, it turned out really well.
Good to hear.
I didn't get the Sam Darnold jersey because he's bad.
That's a good choice.
Went for Brian Burns because he's very good, Pro Bowler, one of the few from the Panthers. And then got a Sadiq Bey. So when I mentioned him on the pod, yeah. So
no, I don't. So there you go.
I mentioned Sadiq Bey. No, it was on my podcast, I think.
There you
It was
go.
on the regular
That's why
show.
I don't remember him.
I mentioned how much I like Sadiq Bey, and that if I got a Pistons jersey, I would get him. And my mother overheard, and I received a Sadiq Bey Pistons jersey.
Good job, Molly.
Yeah, I guess. So
also, good job to the whole Klinger family for getting myself a T-shirt for Christmas that I thoroughly enjoyed and haven't worn yet, but. As you all hear, listeners, I'm a huge Law & Order fan, and most of you know that I run my own lawn care business in the summer. They got me a shirt that says Law & Order Special Mowers Unit, which I really like with a mower symbol on the bottom. So thank you for that.
It's the perfect balance.
Who's getting credit for that idea? Is it you?
My mother. My
Okay,
mother,
we're
yeah.
doing it to Molly. So,
Yeah.
Molly, thank you, part 2. You're getting 2 shout-outs today.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you might be hearing us.
Quinn's handing out the thank yous. It's really
I know.
changed
I
year
never do
now.
the thing. I never do it. But all right. Well, in today's episode, my Steelers might make the playoffs.
Oh, boy.
Ryan's Panthers keep their head coach. And
Oh,
will
my.
Baker Mayfield be back for next year in Cleveland? But we begin today with tomorrow's festivity that is being overshadowed by the NFL, which is the College Football Playoff Championship. And it's a rematch of the SEC Championship between Alabama and Georgia. So, Ryan, who do you have picked as your champion for tomorrow night?
I was throwing fits before we started recording, and I just have to say it again. I'm so mad this is the national title. We need an expanded playoff. These guys should have been the 1 and the 4 or the 2 and the 3. They set it up this way so this could be the national title, and I hate that because, to me, it's the Clemson-Bama argument, but it's even worse this time because they're the same conference. Mm-hmm. And I think the ratings are going to be lower for this than they were for the I guarantee the ratings for this are going to be lower than they were for the playoff games. Mm-hmm. And you can't make the argument, well, it's because of New Year's. There's plenty of better things to watch on New Year's. I mean,
yes,
watch whatever they do with Ryan Seacrest or something. I mean,
that's at nighttime.
I guess it's nighttime, but you get what I'm saying.
New Year's
Eve.
Yes.
My point is, I'm really disappointed. We have the super wild season of all these big surprises and all this stuff goes on, and then we end with Georgia, Alabama, which I could have told you that was a national title in August.
Yes.
And that was probably, the highest odds? I guarantee that was in the top 2.
I think so. I think at least Georgia was. I mean, at least Georgia to make it.
Yeah, I think it was Georgia, Clemson, Georgia, and Bama. Those were the main ones. Bama,
Georgia,
Clemson.
Ohio State, maybe.
That might have been 5th. I'm saying I think this might have been the top odds. This might have been what Sports Illustrated predicted, and Sports Illustrated always predicts very, very, very chalk.
This is true.
They're always chalk.
This is very true.
So, yeah, I guess I'll take Alabama because it's Nick Saban. But my interest in this game is exceptionally low. I might not even watch, which is rare because I love the college football playoff. But I'm not really interested in this game. I think, we've seen it. And and the rematch of it really isn't that interesting to me because the rematch is either, Georgia really screwed up the first game, or it's, Bama's just really good like always. There's not really an interesting narrative.
Nothing changed, yes.
And I don't think Saban, this really is I can't believe Saban beat Georgia. No. Right. This isn't like Saban beat the LSU team with Joe Burrow. It's not impressive. I mean, it's just... Good work, Saban. You did it again. It's kind of like last year, but at least last year had some intrigue because Ohio State upset Clemson. So it's can Ohio State get another upset? No, they couldn't, which I predicted them to lose. And I think, many people did. And I'm saying this year there's no intrigue. This is what we thought it'd be. And I think you either think that Georgia effed up the first time and just planned badly and they're going to win, or you think, Bama's Bama and they'll win. There's nothing really interesting here. It should be interesting, but it's not. Last time they played, it was an absolute hood classic game, probably the best national title out of the college football playoffs since with Tua Tagovailoa coming in during the game, and it wasn't a buzzer beater touchdown, but it was almost the one of Devontae Smith. I mean, he was a freshman catching the biggest play of his life.
Yeah,
it was amazing, and that game just gets better with age when you look at the players in it, and so what I'm saying is. It's really not that intriguing. I don't really care to watch it, and it'll probably end up being a blowout. So whoever wins, I'll take Bama. They're the better team.
This is kind of a tough one. But here's the thing. Georgia has the better players, but Alabama has the better quarterback. And who touches the ball on almost every play?
The quarterback.
So that's why I'm going to have to go with Alabama, because Bryce Young, not only is he the Heisman winner, but he is, I think his facilitation of the ball, as you saw in the SEC Championship, I don't know if Georgia's corners can stop them.
No.
Stop that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, there's no, that one receiver that's injured that I can't think of his name right now. Not Jamison Williams.
No, yeah, I was thinking Jamison, too.
It's not Battle.
Jameson. Yeah, it's their second wide receiver.
Yes, it's the other
Williams
guy.
is the one.
It's the other guy. So they're one of their top receivers is out. So maybe that does help them be able to double cover other receivers. But I am going to go with Bama as well and take it and see what happens there. I think Saban will be prepared, like usual. All right, moving on to our next headline. We're going to quickly go through these headlines because we got some big things to talk about in Ryan's special section. Last Sunday, Antonio Brown went ballistic, leading in the middle of the Buccaneers game at the Jets. Ryan, what is your reaction to Antonio Brown's craziness on the field last Sunday?
I mean, Antonio Brown, you've been seeing this for years, and this is just the culmination of everything that's going on with him. And also, like, overall, I mean, we know he's kind of nuts, and we know that Tomlin apparently held it in all those years when he was on the Steelers. I mean, the thing is this: I heard some of my friends well, he's an idiot. He's going to lose his job and never, he's not going to have any money. That's not true. He's hitting Mike Tyson levels of nuts, where you could, lose your job, but then you just make the rest of your money going on podcasts or going on TV shows or doing random things where you're just such a character,
right? That people want
you on there because you're nuts, and he could make that. That's kind of his thing now at this point,
right?
And he'll be famous because of it. Right. So it's kind of inadvertently, they always talk, any talk is good talk when it comes to showbiz.
Any publicity is
any publicity is good publicity. And he gets a lot of negative publicity, but I know a guy said, he was talking all mad about Antonio Brown. He said, hey, you know who Devontae Adams is? He's like, no. I said, what about Cooper Kupp? No. I said, well, those are the two best wide receivers in the league. And you don't know either of them, yet you know Antonio Brown. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the point is, you're a guy that doesn't watch NFL. You know who Antonio Brown is. You know what team he plays for. You know that he's nuts. You know all the stuff about him. You don't know anything about the best two players because they're not nuts. He's getting so much publicity. So, I mean, the sad thing is he makes more money just being nuts, potentially, and he's going to have a career where he could go on 20 years from now, be on SportsCenter, and people will tune in. Heck, he could pop up in WWE or AEW and do crap. I mean, he's made himself this big name for being nuts, and whether he realizes it or not, he's going to make a lot of money off of it. He's probably not that bright. I think he's just, pretty crazy, but I don't know. They'll potentially check him for CTEs when he... CTEs, whatever it's called,
It's called CTE.
You can't check for those until they die, though, right?
I think you
can do a brain scan?
I think maybe you can. I can't remember because Mike Webster died of it in 2001, who played for the Steelers center. And they had to do it after. That's a whole
I don't know if...
concussion,
yeah.
Will Smith's on there.
I don't know if that is the case because they said he's always been like that ever since...
Ever since that hit by Perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, they said he was like that before. And then the Perfect thing, then it just became a lot more public once he left the Steelers. So, I mean, I can see both sides. Was he always nuts, but Tomlin kept it in?
It's possible, or maybe he was less nuts, and then when that hit happened, he
became
more
yeah,
nuts.
Exactly. I think there's a lot of interesting things, and we'll probably have a documentary about him within the next 30 years.
Yep,
so
30 for 30.
30 for 30 in 30 years.
Yep. I think...
The Last Dance, The Last Jersey.
I think he will never play in the league again. And I think people learned a lesson this time because I think Brady really twisted Bruce Arians' arm to have him on the Bucs, and he will not ever play again in the NFL. Now, maybe he'll go play in the XFL or somebody else or whatever, the USFL, because supposedly he's blowing his mouth off that Todd Haley, former offensive coordinator for the Steelers, is coaching there in that league and that he wants him on the team. But who knows? I mean, I think it's a big dumpster fire. And why would you want to go bring in a big old dumpster fire when you start a new team? So
yeah, you don't.
That's going to be my opinion on that. And I think he'll be done, and he could have been one of the greatest receivers ever. And, well, technically, statistically, he still is, but he's not going to go any further than what he is now. All right. 2 big coaching decisions were made in the NFL this past weekend. And which of them was the bigger deal, Ryan? Matt Rule, your boy, being kept by the Panthers, or Vic Fangio being fired by the Broncos?
This is a great question because Vic Fangio, whoever thought of this question, really good choice, by the way.
No, it's a good thing I thought of it.
Yeah.
So.
No, Vic Fangio, you and I are both pretty big on the Broncos and think that if they get stuff together, they could be a heck of a team. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they've got a pretty underrated receiving core. I honestly think they just need to have a more interesting, dynamic offense. I think their defense is suspect, but they could draft and fix it. Mm-hmm. I think if I'm Aaron Rodgers and I'm going anywhere, I want to go probably there. I'm thinking maybe Pittsburgh, but honestly, Broncos is a really great situation. So I think, if I'm a quarterback and I want to go somewhere like a big name like Aaron Rodgers, I don't think Russell Wilson really fits in there as well as Rodgers does. That would be my number one pick. Mm-hmm. I think they really get a nice thing going there. And that's what's nice about the Vic Fangio firing is that if they go and get Aaron Rodgers this summer, then boom. Who do you want to coach you, Rodgers? I mean, He's had his, he didn't really like Mike McCarthy. He's called his current general manager Jerry Krause.
Yes.
So, I think it's interesting that they're doing this because I don't think Vic Fangio's a terrible coach. I don't.
He might just be a better coordinator than he is a head coach.
Yeah, and I'm saying I don't think they're struggling because of that. They're struggling because they don't have very good quarterbacks, and obviously the coach feeds into that. I'm saying honestly, to me this move is very suspect because I'm like, are they getting Rodgers? Like, are they hearing the rumblings too, or is that what they're going for? I think yeah, maybe, and that's why they're going to bring in a new coach and maximize him. And if Rodgers doesn't come, well then they either A, draft somebody, or B, sign someone, and then they get a coach that fits them. Like, they're kind of going to reorganize what they're doing based off this offseason. So I'm expecting a pretty big offseason from them to make a decision what direction they're going in instead of just constantly being the team that starts backups for a bit and is constantly searching. I mean, they haven't had a franchise QB since Peyton Manning, and he wasn't really franchised. He was there to wrap up his career. So I want to say Matt Rule's the bigger deal, but honestly, I don't know how I feel about Matt Rule anymore. I think Fangio is the bigger deal because I think that Broncos team has a lot of potential. I think the Panthers team has a lot of potential, but I think it's probably good to keep him one more year just to check, be like, are we sure we're getting rid of him after next year? If we don't do well, kick him. I'm kind of ready to kick him now. I'm not very happy with what's going on, but, like people are arguing, it's like, well, Brian Burns says he wants him. Like, yeah, it's because Brian Burns goes and sees him every day. You think he's going to be like, yeah, F him. Like, no. Brian Burns isn't the type of guy to do that. I mean, he's very big on the team atmosphere. Brian Burns is, so he's not going to do that. So I'd like to say Matt Rule's the bigger deal, but he's not. I mean, the Panthers can just flounder next season, and if he gets fired, he gets fired. But what I'm hoping is my dream scenario for the Panthers is we either trade back, we draft O-line and get Kenny Pickett, and he's awesome, or the best case scenario is that Scott Fitterer still has friends over in Seattle because he's our GM. He used to be the GM of Seattle. And he goes and gets us Russell Wilson. But that is obviously a very dream scenario. So, if we get Russell Wilson and we suck, then fire Rule immediately. If we don't have a winning season next year and we still have the talent we have, if we don't show improvement, I'd fire him because I'm like, we should be a good team. We've got good talent. So, especially on the defensive side. I mean, offensively, I can understand the shortcomings, but I see lists all the time. Teams that are one quarterback away, Panthers, Broncos are two biggest ones, and those are the ones that just made opposite decisions on coaching. So I think the Broncos are making an interesting move here, and they can probably retool their whole thing, whereas the Panthers, to me, if Rule starts out next year and it's not looking like we're going to be a winning team, get rid of him. I'd be fine with him firing mid-season.
Yeah.
And, I used to be pretty big on him, but crap, he fell apart during the season and didn't know how to fix it. So I was disappointed. And honestly, I just want the Panthers to find a franchise quarterback, whether it's Pickett, whether it's Russell Wilson, maybe Gardner Minshew. I don't care. Just somebody that's good enough to get us to a playoff spot. That's all I care about. Somebody we can trust to carry us because I know they're hearing offers on McCaffrey now, and I find that interesting because I do think Chuba Hubbard's pretty good. And if McCaffrey's going to keep getting hurt, fine. Ship him off, go get Russell Wilson. I'm fine with that. So, we'll see.
I'm going to say the bigger deal is Matt Rule here because I
was for sure you were going to go Fangio.
Nope, you're going to hear this. You're going to hear this anyway because Fangio is in the situation that Matt Rule will be 1 year from now. Because Fangio last year, everybody said fire him, and they kept him one more year. They gave him a chance, and then they fired him. So that's what they're doing basically with Matt Rule. They're saying, okay, we're going to give you one more year, and if you turn it around, maybe we'll keep you. And if not, we're going to fire you. So it's a prove-it year. It's a prove-it deal.
Do or die.
So this might be it. I mean, this might be it for Matt Rule, and I think that's what what we're seeing. I mean, I think it's what the hues of the rainbow are showing there of that situation, and that I think the Panthers. I think Sam Darnold. I talked about it earlier. Sorry. I didn't think that Sam Darnold was going to be your
you were right.
your magician, and that was true. So we'll just see what they do quarterback-wise. They got a lot of off-season questions. That defense is still decent, so they need to get something on offense going. All right, last headline for today. I just had to throw it in there because of the media frenzy over the last 2 weeks. Will Baker Mayfield be back in a Browns uniform next season, Ryan?
Yeah. No, there's no question for me. I think he's going to get the surgery, and there's two scenarios for next year. there's the good scenario where this surgery fixes it for him. He clicks back with the offense. They make the playoffs, and they look awesome. And may not be a Super Bowl team, but they at least win a wild card game. And it's, yes, Baker is the guy that we thought he was. We're running with Baker. Then there's the bad scenario where he comes back from surgery, plays the way he's been playing. The team struggles. They don't make the playoffs. And they trade for Derek Carr. Or they start Case Keenum, or they trade for some other quarterback. Like, I think they're going to feel it out one more year because, to me, it's just dumb to trade him now when he could potentially come back from the surgery and be good again. I mean, we're not going to act like he wasn't good last year. He was pretty good last year, I mean, honestly. And so, I mean, he wasn't like a top 5 quarterback or anything nuts, but he won them a playoff game. And they haven't done that in years. And, we've talked about before, behind everybody in the locker room really likes him. It's very similar to a Derek Carr situation, in my opinion, where the numbers might not put out, but everybody on that team loves him and doesn't want to get rid of him.
Right.
That's how it's always been at the Raiders. We always laugh at Derek Carr, but they love him there.
Yep.
And that's how it is with the Browns and Baker. And I hope that next year this surgery fixes it for him and he balls out. But if he doesn't, then we're in a bad situation. But I definitely think they're not going to ship him off now. They got to have one more year feeling it out.
Yeah, I think it's a premature question as well because they've already picked up his 5th-year option, so he's already guaranteed to come back and fully guaranteed the money. And I don't think they can dump it off on anybody because he's injured, and who's going to want to take an injured quarterback who still has something to prove yet before going to a different team if they even wanted to trade him. So Baker will be there. I think next year it's kind of like Matt Rule. It's a prove-it year. You got to prove it. And if Baker Mayfield, like you say, returns to form of 2020, then maybe he is still there in Cleveland. But we will see what happens. I mean, they have a lot of offseason decisions. As I think Jarvis Landry might be up on his contract as well. But
they'll re-sign him. He's good for them.
Right, but got a lot of decisions. They just re-signed their interior offensive line, so they're there for a long time. And I mean, they got to solve some issues there and some injuries. And if they get healthy, I think the Browns could be back on maybe winning the division next year. But they were the paper champions this year, and everybody bet on them. And guess what? That segues us right into Ryan's special section.
The biggest special section ever.
We have no game today at all, and it is right into Ryan's special section to deal with the NFL playoffs and final season awards.
Yes, so we're going to start with reflection. Then we're going to go to NFL awards. Then we're doing playoffs. You have it here of playoff predictions first.
That's fine.
But I want to end with the big playoff predictions. So let me go because you tracked it for us. Thank you.
Here.
All right.
You want it.
Here it is. Actually, yeah, you got it. Let me see. You read them off. Read them off. Who was
We're going to do the NFC first. Is that fine?
Yep, you want to read mine first?
That's fine. We'll do Ryan. NFC, and this is how I did it, how I did the grading, is you get 1 check mark for having that team in there. You get 2 check marks for having the right spot. Okay? So Ryan, Packers, number 1 seed, 2 check marks there. 2, Rams, he gets 1 check mark there. 3, Buccaneers, 1 check mark there. 4, the football team, nothing there. 5, the 49ers, he gets a check mark there.
Woo!
6, the Panthers, nope. And 7, the Seahawks.
Yeah, that hurts. That Panthers one really hurts.
Don't worry. So we all made bad decisions this year. Because in the NFC for me, I got the Packers in the 1 seed, so I get double check mark there. Rams as the 2, check. Bucks as the 3, check. Football team as the 4. Seahawks as the 5. Cardinals as the 6, check. And 49ers as the 7, check. So I pinned out with 5 in the NFC.
See, quick thing about the NFC. I remember you and I were talking before the podcast. You're like, and I took the Cardinals. You didn't. I said, well, I remember that clearly because I was mad because I was really high on them last year, like 2020 season, and they disappointed me. So I was like, you know what? Screw them. Taking the Seahawks over them.
Guess what? They said, screw you, Ryan.
Yeah.
We're going to win.
And then they're like, you know what? This season we're proving Ryan wrong. That's what Kyler Murray went. He went to his house, wrote on his fridge, prove Klinger wrong.
That's right.
That guy on Sort of Sports podcast got to prove him wrong.
Amen.
So I guess you're welcome, Kyler, for your motivation. I really should. That was really mean of me. But we both took the football team. You can't really blame us. That was the team of the Big Salad.
Exactly. We didn't know how Dak was going to be after injury.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, overall, on the Big Salad team picks, we did pretty well. The football team was a fun team that got...
But remember, I tried to convince you to do all L.A. Rams and Chargers. And you said, no, let's do the football team.
Well, that's because we knew LA would be awesome. It's fun to have a team that's a little more fringe. The football team was a fun one to make the team because they won some games that they shouldn't have. They were in some games that they shouldn't have been, like the Packers game. They always fought through games and but they didn't always win them. Like to me, you know who screams big salad team for next year? Because we both really like them, is the Eagles. We should I'm really thinking that would be a great pick next year. Because you know I love that team, and I know you really like them too. And I think the Jags are making a strong case next year too. If they get Thibodeau, because you and I were just talking before we recorded that the NFL draft's going to go 1 Thibodeau to the Jags, 2 Hutchinson to the Lions. It's easy setup. It's not a sexy draft. It's very O-line and defensive heavy. So I'm a little worried about the Panthers. And because I'm very high on Pickett, but I'm not sure. I don't want to take a risk if we don't need to. So, because we definitely need an O-line, and everybody wants Linderbaum, and we have the 6th pick. That'd be perfect Linderbaum pickup spot.
Too high for him, but yes.
Well, most people have him going around 8 to 9. Okay. That's his overall prospect ranking most places. But what I was saying is, Jags are also a good pick for next year. We almost took the Jags this year. Very happy we didn't. But the Chargers pick, what a pick. I mean, tonight, with a win or with a tie, which I do think they're going to win or tie, and we're going to talk about that there later on the predictions, what we're going to do about that, because we are recording this Sunday night. We usually record Monday, but we can't tomorrow.
We can't because you guys say go Pirates against the Vikings tomorrow night.
So we can't do that tomorrow, so we're recording tonight. We just watched the Sunday afternoon games, and now we're going to watch the... We're going to finish... after we record, we'll probably watch the rest of Sunday Night Football, and then you'll head home, but...
Well, I got to sleep somewhere.
Exactly. So, Chargers pick was good, and then we got to watch over this entire NFL season my love affair of Justin Herbert grow. So Mahomes finally had somebody coming for him.
Let's use the word manifested.
Yes. Yeah. So Herbert really Herbert over this year. I mean, I liked him going into the year. I remember when I predicted them in the AFC, and then it just grew and grew.
Should I run down the AFC picks since you're talking about the AFC now?
Yes. Okay. Good segue.
Because we haven't done that yet. All right. AFC Ryan's picks. Number 1, Chiefs, check mark there.
Good.
Number 2, Titans, check mark there.
Can we just say what I had the Chiefs record as?
You had the Chiefs as 15-2.
Yeah.
12-5.
Yeah, and they lost their first.
I just want to say that we
four out of the first
predicted the Packers at 13-4. So I just want to tell you that.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Didn't I have
you did the Rams correctly. And so did I. They're 12-5 as well. They're all 12-5 in the NFC.
What's the Titans' record?
They're 12-5.
And you were right on that.
12-5. You had 14-3.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Really, but Derrick Henry you didn't expect Derrick Henry.
That's true. Now, did Chiefs lose their first?
They were 3-4.
3-4. Wow. Okay, so they lost more.
And then they lost to the Bengals.
Yeah. So I'm saying, wow, I'm just saying my prediction was wrong very quickly.
Yes.
I remember I almost thought about taking 17-0.
Good choice not to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Chiefs 1, Titans 2, Bills 3, which you got double check mark for that. Browns 4. I laughed at that one in the beginning.
Yeah.
Even though I picked the Browns one in the AFC North as well, I still laughed at it. Fins 5. That's in the Dolphins.
It's not really that bad.
Nope. 6 Chargers, which is a possible, and 7 Ravens. Okay, so you have a chance to get another.
The Ravens also had the most unlucky year of all time, so
So you get a chance to get another. You have a chance to get 2 more check marks there.
Yeah, I think that honestly, I would pencil it in. To be honest, I think that Chargers could win that tonight.
Well, you can't pencil it in until the fat lady sings.
True.
So, all right, for me, I picked the Bills. I did not get any of the seeds correct, but I got 5, possibly 5 teams correct. Bills check, Chiefs check, Titans check, Browns, Steelers. Possible check as long as they're not a tie tonight. Chargers if they win, and then Dolphins. Double check for the Chargers, so I end up with 6 there.
Wow.
Not too shabby. See? Not too shabby. I'm not doing too bad. But, so, yeah, I mean, to reflect on that, I mean, I can potentially get 5. I got 5 teams right in the NFC, and potentially 5 teams right in the AFC, and Ryan got possibly 4 in each. So that's not too bad. That's over 50%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Can't beat it with a stick. That's all I can say.
All right.
So you want to talk about NFL season awards then?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move into the season awards.
All right, and you need to list out what awards we're doing, so you tell the people.
Yeah, you want me to list them out?
You list them out because I don't know.
So we're going to open with MVP.
I know them, but
we're
I don't
going to go to DPOI, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and we'll end with Coach of the Year. You and I are very big on coaches. Now, I want to pull up. First off, I will ask you, who is your MVP?
My MVP right now, and people are going to think I'm crazy, and...
Because you know who I'm going to go with, and I'm hoping you're not going to say the same as me.
Well, I'm not. I truly am not. And I am going to go with not the obvious choice, and, well, actually probably more the obvious choice, which is probably Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go with Rodgers. And I'm just going to read off some numbers here, if I can fly over quickly.
Well, my argument for him is that he's MVP by default, but
yes,
I'll talk about that.
Like a team. But here's his number. Here are his numbers. Rodgers. He threw for 4,115 yards this year. Completion percentage, 68.9%. He had 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and his rating is 111.9. So I don't think you can, if that can happen. But we just got, yes, there will be a headline. Okay, and anyway, I got to shut up right now. And so I'm going to go with for Rodgers because for some reason he seems like he should be the MVP this year, and that's why he got the numbers. He has the numbers that way. So go ahead and you talk about.
You can add that, by the way, if you want to.
I will be adding it to the
All
end.
right.
So that's career, but you want in the season?
Yeah, I was trying to find
Michael
the season.
Thomas, but I don't know what.
I'm trying to figure out Michael Thomas's reception record fell today.
I say just click that article and hopefully it says the old ones.
That's
or is it right there? It's 149. So he had more than 149. He had to have 12.
Wow, he was short. So Cooper Kupp had the chance today to break both Michael Thomas's receptions record of 149 and Calvin Johnson's of 1,959 is I think what his was. And he failed. Cooper Kupp, in overtime, by the way,
I think he was 64.
What?
I think it was 1964 is what the yardage was.
What, for Calvin?
Yeah.
Okay. No, 64 then. Sorry. You check that for me. So he had 145 catches, 1,947 yards, and 16 touchdowns. That's
1964. I was on it.
Nice.
See how he is?
So he's a Triple Crown winner, and I'm pretty sure, I will check really quick, there's only...
It should be most receiving touchdowns, not just weird receiver, shouldn't it be?
What?
I said, shouldn't it be most receiving touchdowns and not... Oh, you're just doing the Triple Crown. Never mind.
Yeah, I was just doing the Triple Crown. So he's only the 4th wide receiver to ever win the Triple Crown. I know one of them off my head is Steve Smith. Last one was in 2005 for my Panthers.
Really?
And then, I know it's been a while. And then it was Sterling Sharp in 1992, and then before him, Jerry Rice in 1990. So here's my thing with Kupp, is he's having one of the best wide receiver seasons, if not the best one ever. I mean, it's up there. He was about to get 2 records. You know, he's almost got 2 records, and he had Triple Crown, 4th to ever do it. I mean, that's insane. Granted, like he said, he goes, well, it feels a little unfair that I could potentially break these records, and I had an extra game to do it. And I understand that sentiment, but let's look at what's going on in the NFL narrative-wise, which is very big on MVPs, narrative. Mm-hmm. And there hasn't really been a clear MVP all year. It started out, people thought, the early favorite was Josh Allen, and then he had a bad game against Josh Allen and fell apart. And then, I mean, sometimes you are really your own worst enemy. Mm-hmm. With him, it was his twin, the other Josh Allen.
True.
The Josh Allen next door.
Josh Allen, and that Josh Allen is what? Is that Josh Allen number 6?
What? Yeah.
Real Josh, as another Josh Allen number 9?
Yeah, is it Bizarro Josh Allen?
Bizarro Josh Allen, I think. I have to check that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. So somebody should make like a jersey thing where like the front of it is, that'd be sweet. Where's all your Bills/Jaguars fans? I bet there's one out there that likes them both.
I know. Did you see the combined jerseys from the St. Browns today out of the Lions?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So back to Cooper Kupp. Then it looked like it was going to be Brady, and then he had a couple bad games. The whole Bucs had a couple bad games. They talked about Lamar for a bit. I was very high on Lamar being MVP, and then, he got injured, and that all fell apart. And the one consistent guy through the whole league was Rodgers. The only bad game he had was the first game of the season, so everybody kind of forgot about that.
Amen.
So my thing with Rodgers is this. If you win back-to-back MVPs, and this is how it always in the NBA out of every pro sport, out of the big three pro sports in America, is the one that values the MVP the most.
Touchdown is number 41.
Ah, okay, so we can't have the Bizarro. Dang it.
This has been the college number. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, if it's a college number, then they should do the jersey. Yeah. So the NFL's doesn't put as much power in the MVP as the NBA does, but it's still important. And if Rodgers is going to win back-to-back, his second season should be better than his last, and it's not. He had more touchdowns last year. I'm pretty sure his yardage was higher last year. Mm-hmm. Check that for me. And what was and his passer rating? The only thing he leads in out of the main quarterback stats, he doesn't lead in yards, he doesn't lead in touchdowns, and I don't think he leads in receptions either. The only one he leads in is passer rating. But passer rating is a really good stat. I'm not going to argue. I'm just saying it's not like Rodgers has had a year for the record books, and Cooper Kupp has. He's had one of the best wide receiver seasons of all time. So I think there's two things here.
Last year he had 4,299 yards, which is virtually the same. It's only 184 less.
Yep.
This year, even though he had one more game to play. And then 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. His rating was 121.5.
What's his rating this year?
111.9.
So he hasn't even improved his rating. So last year he had a much higher. I mean, not much higher, but he was better last year. So I'm saying if.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take it.
You get another water?
I get another water.
Nice.
Another third shout out to Molly today for giving me another water on set.
Yeah, it was nice of her. So, Cooper Kupp, what I'm saying is...
We're running out of shout outs and we're not even halfway through. Go ahead.
Cooper Kupp, what I'm saying is having one of the best wide receiver seasons ever, and, there's not really a clear favorite from any other position. He's the only consistent thing we've really had all year, because Rodgers is just kind of winning it because, he's been the best quarterback. So if it's really just whoever's the best quarterback, then it's not the MVP.
But that's always how it's turned into, so I think that's the problem.
And I'm saying that's a problem. It should be Cooper Kupp.
Right.
I think Taylor's almost a better candidate than Rodgers.
Not after today.
Not after today. But Taylor really could have won it there for a bit. My argument with the MVP is if Derrick Henry didn't win it last year, no running back's ever going to win it because he was insane last year.
Right, he wasn't. He should have won it.
And he should have won it, and he
didn't. Offensive Player of the Year, though?
Yeah, because that's what they do is...
I know, it's the second place MVP.
Yeah, it is.
It's Offensive Player of the Year,
which sucks.
is a joke.
It sucks.
It's a joke.
They do it just so they can hand out... It sucks, and I'm saying Cooper Kupp should be MVP, but Rodgers is going to win it. That's the way they're going to vote. And it sucks because it should be Cooper Kupp. So I'm saying right now my MVP is Cooper Kupp. That might be the title of the video. That would be in the description because everybody needs to know that. It should be Cooper Kupp. I mean, last year I said it was Mahomes because Mahomes had a great year. And, in retrospect, I probably should have went Henry, but my Mahomes bias blinded me. And this isn't any bias towards Kupp. I'm saying straight up, Cooper Kupp's been the Cooper Kupp's been the best wide receiver in football.
Yep.
And had one of the best wide receiver seasons of all time. Rodgers isn't really even having one of the best quarterback seasons.
No, he isn't.
In the last 10 years. I mean, he's not even as good as he was last year. And last year, it wasn't like he broke any records. And Cooper Kupp is having a record-setting season. Fourth player to ever have a Triple Crown. 12 or 15 yards short of Calvin Johnson. Only, how many catches was it? How many catches was he short of Michael Thomas? 4 or 5?
4.
4 catches short, so I'm saying insane his records.
Yes.
And take the extra game away. You can minus 150 yards if you want and minus a couple of receptions, maybe a touchdown because he did catch a touchdown today. And we watched that game together. And either way...
Back after we turned over to the Pats. Fins, so...
Either way, those stats are off the charts. It should be Cooper Kupp. He's been the best wide receiver in football, and that's really the end of it for me. All right, Defense Player of the Year. I want it to be Myles Garrett, but I think we're both going to go T.J. Watt because...
I think we are, and I'm going to read some numbers.
He didn't break the sack.
He tied it today.
He tied it. Well, that pretty much sealed it.
Let's remember, he probably really should have broken it because of that fake sack by Brett Favre, if you know what I'm talking about with Michael Strahan. You know what I'm talking about?
What'd you say?
You know what I'm talking about? The fake sack to get the 22.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, if it was reality, he should have been solely in it. But here are the numbers right here. If I can get there real quick. I'm just rushing to these numbers. I'm flying to them. Okay. So this season, T.J. Watt, I don't think they have today's in.
They don't have the day stats in?
Hold on.
Well, I'm going to say...
I think they do.
You got it?
Yep, because they have 15. Okay, good. We only gave him 21 and a half. All right. Sorry, moving back.
You're all right.
So, TJ Watt, if I can get back to the stats, and I got to go this way. I don't know why I went a roundabout way to it, but I did. I got to go all the way back over here. So anyway, TJ Watt, he had more tackles today, which I do not have the numbers. I do have the numbers here, right here. So he had 50 tackles for the year, which is, it's not that you don't need that much as an edge guy. But sack-wise, 22 and a half sacks, tied Michael Strahan's record. And he had his 5th forced fumble of the year. And I think that should be solely impressive right there as well. He's had 3 fumble recoveries also this year, probably ones that he forced. And I don't I mean, if he is not Defensive Player of the Year, which he wasn't last year, and he should have been, he actually beat out Aaron Donald statistically in every category, then there's some issues with the voters.
There's a bias towards Donald because he's so impressive when you watch him.
Right.
Donald's a crowd favorite. I mean, he's awesome. He's like when J.J. Watt would get all those too.
Yes.
Where the voters have already decided that they like him, so they just roll with him.
Yes.
And
roll with the changes.
It's like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's safe. No one's going to question you.
Safe.
So it is T.J. Watt. I think it will be T.J. Watt. Both of us are going T.J. Watt.
All right. Here's Aaron Donald today. Okay. So he has 41 tackles for the year, 12 and a half sacks, 4 forced fumbles. That's not impressive.
No. Now, what are Myles Garrett's stats, though? Because he, to me, was the one who was threatening T.J. Watt during this year, not really Donald.
Then he didn't really do anything the last half of the year. What happened to him? I don't know if it's because of that groin injury or because last year with COVID slowed him down a little bit physically. But I don't believe... I think it was just that groin that he had, Myles Garrett. Okay. I think this doesn't include it. So he has 33 tackles on the year, 16 sacks, and a forced fumble. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, T.J. Watt is astronomically higher than both those two that are competitors to him.
He should win it. He probably will win it. He should win it. That's really the end of it.
The Watt brothers have, 4 Defensive Player of the Years?
Yeah.
4 together? Well, there you go. Too bad Derek plays on offense. Can't get a 5th one. So, there it is.
Well, TJ can just win it again.
Yes, he can. All right, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Ryan. Who you got?
Now, I think the Mac Jones argument's very compelling. Honestly, no one talks about Najee Harris. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I don't think he will win it. I don't think he should win it. But it is interesting that no one brings him up. Jalen Waddle actually has more receptions, I think, than Jamar. But Jamar has so many more, yards, which is more impressive. I think it's very much more impressive when we see a lot more of the wide receivers, especially right now. I think, the 5th or 6th best I read, wide receiver from a rookie wide receiver is still having one of the best wide receiver rookie years statistically. Just any more college wide receivers are better adapted to the NFL game than ever before.
Right.
And quarterbacks, it's still kind of iffy. And so it's very impressive how well Mac has been able to come into this and lead this Patriots team into the playoffs and be one of the best teams in the league in my opinion. So I think he definitely deserves a lot of credit. But give me those Jamar Chase numbers because he has had, in my opinion, a season for the ages. He's having Justin Jefferson level numbers. And Justin Jefferson had an incredible rookie campaign. So give me some of those Jamar Chase numbers.
Okay. And I believe this is included in today's statistics already. All right. 79 receptions, 1,429 yards, 13 tutties.
Wow. So let me look overall at that. Now, I wanted to bring that up into the league. In the league, he is 4th in yards with 1,000.
Did he rest today? He must have rested.
1,429.
Oh, he did play today. I don't know.
Receptions, though, 79 receptions. So that's what's part of that is his yards per reception are very high at that.
Yes, 18.1.
Yeah, so then his yards a game are off the charts pretty too. 89.3 is, what?
Cooper Kupp's is
Well, Cooper Kupp's astronomical because he's having a season for the ages. Just put this in perspective, guys. We were talking earlier about Cooper Kupp. Devontae Adams is 2nd with 99.9 yards a game. Cooper Kupp is 114.3, so he is far and away just killing it. Receiving yards after catch, I wonder who leads in that. Cooper Kupp, there it is. Touchdowns, obviously, we know it's Cooper Kupp. So let's go back. Jamar is actually third in yards after catch. So Jamar in touchdowns is second with 13. So he's got the most yards as a rookie. He also has the most touchdowns as a rookie. Receptions, though, I know Jalen Waddle has him beat. But I think it's very interesting. Hey, look at Pat Freiermuth being tied for 19th with Hunter Renfrow. Good work, Pat Freiermuth.
They should have had more. He wasn't out for those.
I actually really like Pat Freiermuth. He's like
good.
I really like
Miller.
him. Yeah, he's good.
He's one of me. He's Miller.
So his yards are crazy, but what I want to pull up is what Justin Jefferson's numbers were last year in comparison to Jamar Chase, because as you know, Justin Jefferson last year was the offensive rookie of the year. So I think it's very interesting. And they were both teammates at LSU. Thank you. So last year, Justin Jefferson, sorry, the J names, Jay Jettis, as they call him, had 88 receptions, less than Jamar.
No.
Yeah, I thought Jamar's was 70-something. Yeah, 79. 88 receptions, more than Jamar is what I meant to say. Sorry.
That's why I said
no. I spoke wrong. Sorry, I meant to say more. I apologize. 1,400 yards. Jefferson gets 1,429, so Jamar beat Jefferson. This is hard, the J names. So Jamar beat him in that.
And yardage.
Yeah, beat him in the yardage. And then for touchdowns, he had 13. Justin Jefferson only had 7, so he obliterated him there. His longest catch, oddly, was 71. Jamar's was 82. So, yeah, Jamar just really had a heck of a season. And, he's been one of the best, top 10, maybe top 5 wide receiver in the league as a rookie?
Yes, statistically.
I mean,
I'm not going to cement him.
If you said the top 5 wide receivers in yardage are Debo, Jamar, Devontae, Jefferson, and Kupp. That was in reverse order.
Yes.
Really, the only wide receiver there that I think is better than them would be if you're like, okay, well, I think Tyreek Hill or who I'm thinking of, Mike Evans is better. Those are really the only 2 guys I think you could argue are better than those guys. I think CeeDee Lamb's a little interesting, but no. And same with Keenan Allen, but no. I think Jamar is the most explosive, really, other than Jefferson. I mean, essentially, he's just a little worse version. He's just a younger Jefferson.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it seems like he's developed faster than Jefferson. So, I'm just incredibly impressed with how well Jamar Chase has played. Mac Jones has been awesome, but he's not a top. He's probably not even a top 10 quarterback. So he's gonna be, I think he's got the chance to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, especially with Belichick and all that. But for the time being, it's got to be Jamar. He's had a heck of a season.
All right.
If Jamar didn't exist, we'd have a very interesting Rookie of the Year conversation, because Waddle had a heck of a year, yes. Mac Jones had a great year, and Najee's had a great year. But because of Jamar being so good, he just ruins all the conversations.
I agree. I completely agree. I was thinking Jamar Chase as well, so I'm going to piggyback on your reasons as well. I think he's been impressive on the eye test, and I think that's a big thing too. Before we even get to the numbers, is the eye test as well. And but I'm actually more interested in talking about defensive rookie of the year when it gets to be that in a couple seconds. But I'm going to say that.
You can bring us in. You can start us.
Oh, I can bring us in?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Also, wait, for comeback, I know you have Alex Smith. I have Burrow.
Well, Alex Smith was last year, so.
No, I thought you said what did you say for comeback player of the year this year? I thought you said Alex Smith.
I said nobody.
You don't have anybody?
I have nobody.
No, it's got to be Burrow. He comes back and was awesome.
Well, yeah, that's why I said I had nobody.
Oh, I thought. Why did I think you said Alex?
We were talking about Alex Smith earlier today because of Joe Theismann.
That's what it was. Sorry. Yeah. Well, it's got to be Burrow for comeback, right?
I would say so. I mean, who else could it be? No, it could be Dak. It could be Dak.
But Burrow had a better year.
Yes, he did.
And a scarier injury too.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to either. I think they both had good seasons. Okay, well, defensive rookie of the year, and I think this is an easy one, and I think you're going to agree with this as well. Is
plays with the Cowboys.
Micah
Parsons
for me,
Penn State.
From Penn State. Remember, I think you need.
There's no question for me.
People need to remember this. Last year, he opted out. He didn't even play football at all last year. He just stayed in shape because of COVID. So this year, he didn't play last night because he was ill, and this year, 64 tackles, 13 sacks, 3 forced fumbles right there. That's what I think are great statistics. At first, people were trying to give him in the running for the defensive player of the year. I just don't think his numbers are that eye-popping, especially when we talk about TJ Watt's numbers, that he's going to be able to be in that conversation at least this season, but probably next season or the following, he's going to be up there. But definitely he's running away with defensive rookie player of the year. Defensive rookie of the year.
Remember when we all thought Trayvon Diggs is going to be, not we all, a lot of people thought Trayvon Diggs is going to be defensive player of the year?
I think he still could.
No. The thing is with Diggs, he only gets interceptions. He can't do anything else. He lets guys off.
Either gets burned or not.
Yeah, he gets burned all the time. He just sits down and catches the interception. That's all he does. He's stats only. He doesn't pass the eye test. Watt's both.
Here's the stats. 43 tackles, 11 interceptions, 21 passes defensed.
No.
I think it could be a running between those two. It could be shared. Could be a couple of cowgirls.
Watt. I think Watt won't. I think a good amount of votes will go to Diggs, but Watt will win it, and then.
I mean, yes, for defensive player of the year, but for rookie of the year, I think it can go between those two. It can go between Parsons.
Is Diggs a rookie?
Yes.
What? I did not actually know that.
Yes, Diggs is a rookie.
I genuinely don't know that.
Yeah, right here, career. That's tackles. Or maybe not. Maybe
I didn't think he was a rookie.
Maybe he is his second year. Yes, this is his second year.
It's his second year. Okay, good.
Second year. I don't remember him last year, though.
Well, he didn't do anything.
He is not going to be defensive player of the year. But anyway, moving on.
Oh, I mean, he could get some votes because people like the interception numbers,
right.
But it'll be Watt.
But he's got, yes, for defensive player of the year. But yes, it's
Rookie of the year, it's got to be Parsons. He was good enough they were talking about him for defense player of the year. Yes. That's impressive.
Yes.
Is there even anyone close to him for defensive rookie of the year?
I don't think so. I don't recollect
I think
anybody.
It's Parsons by a mile.
I think it is, too. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and he's been a stud. I mean, everybody talked about going into the year, including us, the Dallas Cowboys offense. That's the key to their game. Their offense has been pretty bad, as you and I expected, because we made fun of them. The defense is what's good. I mean, Micah Parsons has been a stud. Trayvon Diggs occasionally gets an interception. I mean, the defense has been lights out.
Yep.
Lights out, Alice.
I agree.
I mean, it's been good.
That's right, Alice. All right, who are your coaches of the year? Who you got?
All right.
I know it has to be one for the whole league, but I have two in mind for me.
Okay. Well, how about this? You name your two, and then if one of, because I think you're going to say Vrabel and someone else.
How'd you know?
Well, because Vrabel right now is the betting favorite, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't know if he's the betting favorite or not, but yes, one of them is Vrabel. I think he's done a great job with the Titans, especially navigated them through Derrick Henry's absence. So why should he not? He's got the number one seed.
He's got the record and the narrative.
And he's there. I think he's got it. Now, my other one is, and Ryan's not going to like this one, even though they blew it a little bit in the end, but I'm hitting for Cliff Kingsbury as well. I see him as a dark horse because, and Ryan's shaking his head right now with his North Dakota State University hat on, and I'm saying, here's the reason. Kingsbury, he
won the national title for the FCS ninth in, 11 years? Something nuts?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So, the reason I'm here for Cliff Kingsbury is because he led the Cardinals to a playoff. I know they didn't win the division, but he led them to the playoffs. He got them there. They improved again this year, so I don't understand why he can't be in the running for it, at least.
Belichick is a better case than Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay, you make that case for Belichick.
I mean, look at the team. He changed the entire offense, got a new quarterback in there, made some great free agent signings, turned the whole team around, and made them a Super Bowl level team.
Agreed.
And I'm saying overall, Belichick has completely shown that it wasn't just Tom. He's a stud. They were genuinely just the greatest duo in potentially sports history. I mean, the Phil Jackson Michael Jordan pairing's pretty legendary, but I'm saying the Brady Belichick thing is probably the greatest coach player dynamic in football history.
Yes.
I don't know why I can't speak all of a sudden.
Can't speak.
And what I'm saying is he completely showed that he's the guy and he knows what he's doing. And he's probably gonna go down as, in my opinion, should go down as the greatest NFL coach of all time. Mm-hmm. I honestly think there's a bit of a case here for Tomlin. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Tomlin, how he got the Steelers to the playoff berth and, potentially a playoff berth tonight as long as this game doesn't end in a tie, which I don't think it will.
And right now it's 10-0 Raiders.
What? No. Now, I did say before the podcast it's 3-0.
Hold on. It's
10-0.
Just load in there.
Okay, so what's weird about this Raiders thing, and I told you this earlier, I just want to say it for the listeners.
Raiders.
As I think all the things are going the Raiders' way because they're having the John Madden thing, there's all that, and they're at home, and everybody's doubting them.
Yes.
And, what do the Chargers have to play for? They'll be better next year than they are now. Whereas the Raiders, it's like, well, guys, if we don't win this, we're going to have a new coach next year. Whereas if they win this, they might keep their current coach, and Derek will be guaranteed to be the starter again.
Possible.
And so I think they have a lot more to play for than Chargers do. Chargers are probably like, well, we can lose this, and everybody knows we're going to be hot stuff next year.
All I know is this. The Raiders fans were annoying when I went to the Steelers-Raiders game.
They probably still are. Because
this is what they did. And there were only, there's maybe like 5% of them in the stadium.
Yeah.
And they kept going, Raiders, Raiders. Like they're keeping up on you.
Like whispering?
Yeah.
That's freaking weird.
What
the?
Scooby-Doo monster just creeping up on you. Raiders, Raiders. And it just kept going
That's
on
freaking
and on.
weird.
Annoying. But anyway,
the
back
Vegas
to the
fans going nuts.
I know. Vegas.
They do a sweet stadium. Allegiance? Is that what it is?
Allegiant, yes.
Allegiant. Yeah, honestly, they could win this game. But I'm saying the thing is, the Chargers, they know they're going to be one of the best teams in the league probably next year if they draft right and do their offseason right. And, Brandon Staley's going to get a lot of credit for turning the team into a big
team. If they make the playoffs, I could see Staley being a Coach of the Year candidate because this is his first year with him.
Yeah, no. I just think to me, there's fringe, right? Like, Flores, impressed. Good work, Flores. I have faith in you in Miami for next year.
Uh-huh.
And then I think Mike Tomlin consistently just continues to gain my respect and people around the league.
Took a trash line to somehow making the playoffs.
Exactly. And I'm saying Tomlin just knows what he's doing. I trust to see I'm very interested to see what he does this offseason with the Steelers. So, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going there, but if he did, I cut Tomlin easy coach of the year probably next year. They would go have a great record. He's a heck of a coach. I think McVay really impressed, but everybody expected that.
Yes.
So I think there's all these guys that are fringe and are good possibilities. I mean, I would even throw a little bit some Kyle Shanahan's way, the way he really picked up the Niners and changed the way they played. They're not defense heavy now.
Possible.
They're Debo and running game, and they do all this now, and I think that's interesting.
Yes.
But to me, there's only two that really pop off the page, and that's Belichick, Vrabel, oddly enough.
Both AFC
and Patriots.
Both connected.
Yeah, connected.
Coach player.
Yeah. So I think it will be Vrabel, and my personal is Belichick, but I think Vrabel will win it. The only reason it's Belichick because to me it's the most impressive turnaround out of anybody I listed. And Vrabel, what are you looking for?
We're gonna need a piece of paper.
Oh, okay. I have the sticky notes. Use the sticky notes.
Are we gonna have sticky notes? We're gonna need it for next. We're gonna need it for the next section because we're almost wrapping up this.
Here's the sticky notes we have.
That's what we think.
See, we have sticky notes. We need to use them.
Notes. Okay, we're using them.
So Vrabel, I think, has a very interesting narrative.
Very mazy yellow here.
Yes, it is a maize yellow.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Back to where we were. Vrabel.
Raiders.
What if they freaking win this game? Oh my gosh. Okay, so they do have more to play for than the Chargers. Like it just goes there. It's going their way.
Like that.
I hate those. I hate that sticky note. The sticky notes were we have to explain. We have to explain for the listeners what's going on right now. What is going on? Can you explain?
Okay, so right now, here's the thing. So what's coming up next is we're going to start doing some playoff predictions.
Yes.
Okay? So I was looking for a piece of paper in the drawer that's underneath the computer desk. Brian said, no, get our sticky notes, our podcast sticky notes. So these sticky notes are not the normal way where all the stickiness is on top. I don't know if somebody does this. So I've seen people do these intentionally and do it on their own. But sometimes they manufacture this.
No, when I bought
so it's manufactured where it's awful, so it looks like an accordion fan when you're opening up and down on...
Yeah, they're opposites.
Yeah, I don't care for it. So
I think it's because they're non-stick. That's why they're that way.
Oh, they're non-stick. Well, this is sticky right there. So I guess it's sticky.
I don't know why they're like that.
Well, it had to stick somehow that way. But anyway, back to Vrabel. You want to talk about Vrabel and Belichick?
Yeah, I think Vrabel will win it because he's the number one seed, and he persevered without King Henry. Heavy is the head that bears the crown.
Yes.
That's what I said when he went out. Heavy is the head that bears the crown. Or bears the throne, I think is what it is. Bears the throne.
That's a good one.
But, I mean, his head was heavy, and he kept his head up. So, good work.
His head up.
All that weight in his head, and he, pushed it off. I guess we weighed on his shoulders. Whatever. Point is, whatever metaphor you want to use, Vrabel will win it. I completely understand the argument. I'm just biased towards Belichick because I found it very impressive how he turned the team around that quickly. So Bill Belichick is my coach of the year, just like my MVP is Cooper Kupp. But granted, maybe this is me just wanting to zig when everybody's zagging just because. So
Zigging and zagging.
Yep, I'm not Gonzaga though. So
Okay.
I think coach of the year will be Vrabel.
Okay.
But I personally have Belichick.
Okay. All right, you want to talk about playoffs now?
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna start
baby.
with the NFC.
Since it's set.
We're gonna have to start off with the NFC, and then
Isn't our big finish picks though going to be already picked then?
basically, but we've still got to do officially for the record, so that's why.
Okay.
So anyway, but we are going to do this. You're going to either get option 1, 2, or 3 on the AFC, and we don't know what option that's going to be until after the tonight. So that's all we're going to say
Okay.
about that.
Sounds
But
good.
anyway, so Ryan, NFC, go ahead. Bucks, Eagles, who you taking?
Bucks, Eagles. Okay, this is the NFC set up in its dream scenario because all the teams I like, Eagles, Rams, and Niners
Are offset.
are offset, so I don't have to pick between the teams I like. I really like the Eagles, and Eagles, Brady, we've seen this movie before. And I'm saying I really like the way the Eagles played. You and I talked. I was listening to some of our old podcasts just to see what some of our old takes were and seeing how they aged. A lot of mine didn't age well. All the Panthers ones. We said
My Steelers ones did because they still made the playoffs.
yeah.
hopefully.
Well, not everybody gets to win every year. It sucks. Yeah.
Double V, just like Nixon. But anyway.
Point is, we both said that the Eagles are going to be a very interesting team next year, and they can make the playoffs and make a ruckus, and they did it this year. So I think next year they're really just going to have it all together.
Chumbones.
There's an underrated coach of the year candidate, new coach, can't even remember his name, Sirianni, and he's done really well. So Nick Sirianni, is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
But I'm saying they've had a nice year, and I really like what they're doing over there. And to me, they played the Bucks before, and they lost only 28-22, is what you're showing me. Good job on the stats.
Yes.
And so they're going to be in Tampa, which hurts. But Godwin's out, Antonio's out. Is he really just going to throw it to Mike Evans and Gronk all the
I
time?
guess he might have to.
So I'm
Is
saying
Fournette back yet?
I'm not sure.
Let's check the stats.
Yeah, check that. Is Fournette back? Because that's huge. Because they're going to have to run the football a good amount.
Running the football.
Fournette didn't play today.
Fournette did not play today, so El Bell is.
Well, here's what I'm saying. I personally, I'm going to take the Eagles.
Okay.
I think, just because it's fun, and I look like a genius if it happens, and if I don't, well, then everybody knows it just because I was biased
kinda
towards
just like your Panthers
It's like
pick.
the Cincinnati pick.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, if it happens, I look genius, and it doesn't, well, he was just trying to have some fun. So I honestly think everything is coming together for a Brady. The narrative is going heavily this way of Brady. It is a complete fall apart year, or it's a holy crap, how did Tom get something out of this falling apart team? And I think we're going to lean towards a fall apart year for him because, I mean, in the last 5 years, he's been in 4 Super Bowls and won 3. So, I mean, 51, 53. Yes. He's been in 51, he was in 52, he was in 53, and he was in 56. And he won, 55, and then he won 55, 51, and 53. So he hasn't ever repeated in the second run. Like in his first run he did. He went back-to-back in 04-05. Yes. But he's never went back-to-back since.
Yes.
And I don't think he's going to go back-to-back this year. I do think even if they make it to the NFC title, it's the Rams or the Packers. I hate having the Packers win the NFC title, so I don't know how I'd feel about that. But because see, it feels like right now everybody's leaning towards a Chiefs-Packers Super Bowl, which is what we leaned towards last year.
Okay, well, we're not even close to there yet. We're just trying to get through Wild Card Weekend.
I know that, but that's the way that, the playoff picks are starting to come in. Now the seeding's starting to get set.
know,
And a
I
lot of it is
know.
Chiefs-Packers heavy.
Yeah.
And Rams-Chiefs. I think Rams-Chiefs is much more likely. That honestly looked like the Super Bowl 54. Not 54, last year, 55.
Yeah.
That was really starting to look that way, and then the Rams lost first round. That was disappointing. So,
we were high on golf. No, they won the first round. Remember, they lost.
they lost the Packers. That's what it was. Thank you. Sorry. I for some reason, I thought the Seahawks beat them. Why did I think that? I'm sorry. I apologize. Point is, that looked like Super Bowl last year, potentially. But overall, I'm saying it's all coming together for a Bucks fall apart, and the Eagles are trending up. The Bucks have been trending down. You're going to catch them right at the right moment and get an upset and show, the Eagles oddly rebuilt well, and Jalen Hurts is the guy. Mm-hmm. So, bravo. Also, Devontae Smith, didn't even mention him. He's having a heck of a rookie season, too. Like, the wide receivers just develop really well anymore in the league. And people were worried about his size and everything, and he's been great. So I'm a big fan of them. Boston Scott's been doing really well, oddly. Miles Sanders has been nowhere to be found. Boston Scott's been the guy.
Scott, he's supposed to be the guy a long time ago.
Yeah, and so the Eagles are really trending in the right direction. Got to hand it to them. So I'll give them the win.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Bucs.
That's fine.
And here's the reason. And the reason is, and I'm going to be in a conundrum when it comes to the last game, but
I really hope this is a night game. I really hope they give them the night game. Yeah.
We'll see you tonight. We might know, actually, right now.
Do they know? Do we
know
know?
something? Okay. We know nothing still. You know what I bet it's going to be? I bet you're going to have to stay up late, and after Sunday Night Football, they're going to reveal it. But Chris will reveal them all.
Well, you know, I would love for the Eagles-Bucks game to be the CBS crew because I want to hear Romo call the Brady and the Hurts battle.
Okay.
I feel like that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, they had the contract with the AFC, so that's going to be the problem. I think they'll probably get.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They'll probably get Chiefs against whoever.
Yeah, Romo will do Mahomes, so we can basically just be like, "Oh my gosh!"
What? They might not. They might do Bengals Pats.
Oh, if I have Romo, I would rather do Bengals Patriots because that'll be much more fun if that's the match.
Because CBS is going to have 3 games out of this, so they're either going to be 3-2. Hold on, there's only 6. Hold on, it's 2-2-1.
Yeah.
No, wrong. Somebody doesn't get. Okay, NBC does not get any conference championships because they're getting the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So it's going to be CBS and Fox then. So it might be CBS.
NFC.
CBS is going to get 3, Fox 2, NBC the Sunday night game, and then ESPN, ABC the Monday night game. That's how it's going to be. Probably.
I bet the Monday night game.
So it's probably going to be Nance Romo, Birdman Davis, and then Harlan, Trent Green.
See, when you're the NFL, do you schedule it so the Monday night game is 2 middle seeds because then you get to see a closer game, or do you schedule it like a 2 and a?
Do you want the ratings?
Yeah, do you want
the ratings?
Yeah, exactly, because you might get more ratings if it's a close game, but you could also see it like, well, it's the Chiefs, so more people are going to tune in, even though it might be a blowout. See what I mean?
Right.
So what's more interesting?
It's all about the money.
They did put that Colts-Bills game that was oddly good that I loved.
That was Saturday.
That was an afternoon game.
That was a good
and
one.
So and that was obviously a high seed, and the Bills probably bring in relatively good ratings. So
I don't know, but anyway.
You know what? Looking at this list, I bet I know. I guarantee
the Buccaneers. If anybody cares,
I guarantee Rams Cardinals is a Sunday night or Monday night game.
I can see that
Because that's money. And then
what about? You go ahead.
And then I think maybe is Bengals Patriots your bet? If it's
that's 5.
If it's Chiefs Chargers, that's the Sunday night or Monday night. But if it's Chiefs Raiders, I would almost do that.
Yeah, but it could be Chiefs Steelers if there's a win, if there's a tie.
That's not going to happen.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's probably going to be Chiefs Steelers most likely.
Okay.
Anyway,
you go.
What are you doing? Okay, Cowboys 49ers. I'm taking the Niners.
Me too.
Okay, look at us both agreeing. We're taking the Niners.
Yeah, me too. And that is partially because if I take the Cowboys and they lose, then I just hate myself. It is I don't care if it makes a little bit more sense because I think there's a good chance the Niners win, and I'm not proud of myself for taking the Cowboys because if they lose, then I'm just like, why would I ever do that? And why would I ever trust them? Because I told you before we started recording, I said this NFL playoff is a wild one. It's who do you trust? I will never trust a Cowboys team.
Yep, I agree.
Until they prove me wrong.
I don't trust them at all right now either. I'm taking the Niners because I think they proved it tonight. They did.
I trust them. Debo.
I don't know if I very trust them. It's just that I think they proved themselves they can win a big game. So
I don't trust them to get past the divisional, but I trust them now.
They can win here because they're not going to cold weather. They're going to Dallas, who is hot and inside, so they'll survive.
See, no one talks about that, the weather.
The weather.
That's why Aaron Rodgers plays well anywhere, as he's so used to the cold, he can do it.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
But anyway. Okay, big one, Rams Cardinals.
Wait, did you want to explain your Bucks pick a little more?
No, I don't, because I think it's simple. TB12.
Okay,
all right,
that's fine.
Rams Cardinals. This is a tough one for me. I want to hear your pick first, since we're all.
See, here's the thing. I think the Rams are the better team, but in a one-game scenario, I can just picture it all lining up.
I know.
Kingsbury pulls every trick out of his freaking bag.
But then you know what? Then you're picking every low seed to win this.
And I'm not doing it because who do I trust the more in the entire NFC is the Rams. So taking the Rams.
We're both taking the Rams.
They're the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah.
They're the best team.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Shanahan beat McVay because he got McVay. He slowed them down in the second quarter.
Yes.
Did they score it all in the second quarter?
In the second quarter, the Rams tonight?
Yeah.
Let me get the box score. Nope.
I don't know. How would we find that?
Hold on.
Can you find that for me? Because
I'm working on it. Okay, so this is the first quarter. Scored in the second quarter here. The Rams scored a touchdown there.
Okay.
They scored 2 touchdowns.
Oh, okay. So they slowed up. When did they slow them down, though?
They slowed them down to the third.
That's what it was. I knew there was a quarter they didn't score much. So I'm saying slowed them down. I mean, Shanahan knows how to go into big games. Shanahan, my thing is with Trey Lance, if they can make Trey Lance their guy, the Niners will consistently be a Super Bowl contender. They are literally one superstar quarterback away from being a perennial contender. Shanahan's a great coach. Debo's amazing. Elijah Mitchell's good. They've got a good defense.
How the Niners are supposed to be doing Rams cards?
Because I just wanted to throw in there that they've got a lot of potential.
Okay, well, we talked about them already.
Kittle.
Okay, fine. Niners got a lot of potential.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, the Rams are the best team. Taking the Rams over Cardinals. But he'll pull every trick about his freaking bag. I know Cliff Kings very well.
That's the problem.
He'll do every freaking
That's
RPO
why
possible.
I wanted the Rams to win today, since they wouldn't play the Cardinals. That was my nightmare scenario. Here are the stats from them playing each other this year. And
It's a great matchup.
here it is. I'm looking. All right, the first one, Cardinals came to L.A. They won 37-20. All right, and then the second time, the Rams won a thriller on Monday night, 30-23 in Phoenix. So I'm still going with the Rams. I think Stafford's going to play well. Hopefully, they can handle the pressure and the defense is back up to it. But you got the Energizer Bunny there, Kyler Murray for the Cardinals.
All right, let's look at our divisionals.
All right, we're going to divisionals first?
Yep.
Yes. All right. So, Ryan, you got Packers versus Eagles.
Cinderella story, Eagles. I'd love for it, but I think they get the statement win over the Bucs. Everybody's like, "Whoa, Eagles!" And that's where the run ends.
Okay.
They look forward to the next year. Good work. And, we go into next year, maybe big salad team of 2022, potentially. I don't know. But as much as I think Cooper Kupp's the MVP, Aaron Rodgers is going to the NFC title for the third straight time.
Okay.
And probably losing it.
I got Packers-Niners, and I will take
Whoa!
Well, I'll take the Packers there. So,
I thought. Okay. For a moment, I thought you said your NFC title is Packers Niners.
No.
Yeah, I figured out. Yeah,
that's my diverse
you're good.
divisional.
You're good. Yep.
Packers-Niners. I'm taking the Packers as well. I don't think the Niners will handle cold.
2019 NFC Championship.
Yes, it was, and the Niners came on top there.
Yeah.
So, all right, your next game, Rams-Niners.
That was the battle of the brothers, not the brothers, the cousins or whatever. Aren't they cousins? LaFleur and his brother's the OC. Sorry, Shanahan's brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got Rams,
no, it's not Shanahan's brother.
You got
it's LaFleur's brother.
Rams-Niners to rematch tonight. What do you got?
The LaFleur brothers. LaFleur's brother's the OC. That's what it is. Okay, Rams-Niners. See, this is horrible because I set myself up for a doomsday scenario because I do Rams-Cardinals, which you've seen twice, and now Rams-Niners, which you've seen twice, and they split both, right? Oh, my gosh. And this is probably what will freaking happen, too, just because the Rams are going to be this team that has to go through literally hell, and then the Packers get to play the freaking Eagles. So, and I did that myself, but I honestly think the Eagles are going to beat the Bucs.
Oh, no, the Rams did to themselves. They got themselves in the 4 spot for a reason.
Yeah, no, the Rams freaking did it themselves. The Rams are winning this. I trust this team. Take the Rams.
Don't worry, I'm taking the Rams over the Bucs too, and that's going to be a way tougher game. They beat the Bucs 34-24, third week of the season, but I think they've stepped it up better. The Bucs defense is a little shakier now, and as long as Stafford is not turning the ball over, that's going to be a win for the Rams. So now in your title game, you got Packers-Rams. I got Packers-Rams. I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams too, baby. Here we go.
All right, I took the Rams to begin the season, so
we should throw in our beginning of the year Super Bowl.
We can't find them.
We can. I remember.
Oh, I know mine. Mine was Bills.
You
Rams.
were Bills over Rams.
Over Rams.
Right? I was Rams over Browns. My NFC aged well. My AFC not as much. No, yours is still.
Mine's okay.
Yours is okay. I was never
I would not
high.
say contender.
I was never high on the Bills. You felt like you had to go with them. So,
Yes.
all right.
All right. Turn tape off. Option 1.
Option 1. Wait, can we lay this out before we go?
Okay, we're going right now.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
So now,
this is Ryan.
we're not cutting this. What you just said, we're going to keep in. The turn tape off, option 1, right? We're keeping this in, okay? Explain really quick, then we're going to flip.
And then we're going to cut it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to keep that joke in there. The turn tape off joke.
So here's the deal. Since we're recording Sunday night, we have to do 3 scenarios here for the AFC because we don't know who the seeds are yet because the Chargers and Raiders could tie and they both could be in. Chargers could win, that means Chargers-Steelers 6-7. Raiders could win, it's Raiders-Steelers 6-7. So we got to go through all those scenarios. Now, this is turn tape off number 2.
All right, so here's the fun part. Quinn and I ran through all these scenarios. One if the Raiders would win, one if the Chargers would win, and one if they tied. Here's the fun part, though. We messed up. Quinn and I believed that if the Raiders would win, that would make the Patriots still the 5 seed. No matter what happened, the Patriots were the 5 seed. So we went with our predictions believing that. So what I'm going to do is all the predictions are going to be at the end of the video as a bit of a bonus piece. The cap off the video right at the end of the disclaimer. It's going to go into the bonus section, which was our predictions with the other scenarios. So that includes if the teams tied, which almost happened. That was wild. If the Chargers won, or a special bonus one, that is if the Patriots were the 5 seed and the Raiders were the 6 seed, which is impossible. So that's fun. But Quinn texted me his prediction, so now I will be giving the official Big Salad predictions. It's quite funny that this is the way this worked out. We planned ahead, and we still ended up messing it up. But here we are. I'll start with Quinn. So, obviously, you know our NFC predictions. So here it is for the AFC. In the first round, Quinn has Bengals beating the Raiders, the Patriots beating the Bills, and the Chiefs beating the Steelers. I have the same for all 3 of those. I think, the Chiefs, Bengals to me are the 2 teams I like the most in the AFC. The Patriots are starting to look vulnerable to me, but I don't really trust the Bills. I genuinely don't. I think they're very underwhelming. They have virtually no run game, and I don't really like their defense, whereas the Patriots are the exact opposite. They have great defense and a great run game. It's, how much do you trust Mac Jones? And, it's a pretty sloppy Patriots team, honestly. Like, it's not the usual pristine team. In a couple years, this team will probably be a Super Bowl winner, but for the time being, I think they're just competitive. But I'm still taking them over the Bills. That's just going to feed into my later predictions. I got ahead of myself. Point is, Patriots over Bills, and then Chiefs, it's my homeboy. That's obvious. And then Bengals, Raiders. A part of me is starting to get worried about this whole thing. I'm like, of course, maybe the Raiders just get on something and they start rolling, because they did look really good against the Chargers. But I'm going to stay strong. I have a lot of faith in the Bengals. As I just said, to me, the Super Bowl is coming out of the AFC, and I just have to decide whether it's the Bengals or the Chiefs. So then, next round, we'd have Titans versus, I'm trying to think, the 1 seeds. That's going to be the Patriots, and the Chiefs versus the Bengals. So Quinn took the Chiefs over the Bengals and the Titans over the Pats. I'm honestly going to go reverse here. I've been thinking about this all day in preparation for this, and you'll see at the end of the bonus, I took the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl twice and the Bengals winning it once. To me, this Bengals-Chiefs scenario is the most interesting thing to me, because I truly believe those are the 2 best teams in the league. I think the Rams are 3rd. I think Burrow's really on something this year, and it's starting to look like the right year for them. The receiving core is all on the same page. The defense has been okay, but not terrible. They're like a souped-up Chargers, essentially, because the Chargers have a bad defense and a great offense. To me, the Bengals are just a souped-up version of that. Instead of having 2 elite receivers, they have 3. I think Burrow's about on the same level as Herbert. Mixon's, I think, a little better than Eckler. So I'm taking the Bengals to beat the Chiefs, and that, to me, is the Super Bowl right there. That's, in my opinion, the 2 best teams. Then Patriots, Titans. I just like what the Patriots are doing. I think they're going to get to the AFC title. I definitely see Quinn's scenario where Derrick Henry runs all over them. I know that's what he'd be telling me right now is, the Derrick Henry being in the game changes this entire game, even though the Patriots beat him earlier in the season because he's Derrick Henry, and I completely get that. I think putting the Titans in the Super Bowl makes sense, to be honest, but I just think the Patriots are going in a good direction overall, and I think Belichick can out-scheme anyone, so that's why I'm going with the Patriots over Titans. So then Quinn's AFC title is a Titans-Chiefs AFC title, rematch of 2019, and Quinn took the Titans to win. To me, if the Chiefs are losing, it's the Bengals. But I think what Quinn's point would probably be here is something along the lines of, Derrick Henry's going to come in, really rejuvenate this offense, and the defense has looked good in his absence. And we all know the Chiefs are a little suspicious this year. So I see that. To me, this playoff, I keep saying to me and then going on, but it's just me talking, which is weird for this show. That's usually my regular podcast instead of Big Salad. But what I keep thinking with this Chiefs scenario is the playoffs really hinge on the idea, do the Chiefs crack? Do they fall apart? If they stay strong and Mahomes gets in the Super Bowl, that's it. Like, to me, they are what the entire playoff are resting on, is how good are the Chiefs? And I honestly think the Bengals might be able to beat them, so that's why I took that. But overall, Quinn has the Titans now in the Super Bowl, beating the Chiefs in the AFC title. My AFC title is Patriots-Bengals, and I'm taking the Bengals. This is where the Patriots' run ends. Belichick can't out-scheme Burrow. He couldn't out-scheme Mahomes if this was the Chiefs-Pats. He can't out-scheme those two guys. So Quinn's Super Bowl is now Titans-Rams, and he takes the Rams over the Titans, which makes 100% sense to me. I know Quinn and I have talked. We both believe the Rams are, on paper, the best team in the league, and we both have a lot of faith in them winning the Super Bowl. But I'm going to say that if the Bengals make it this far, the Bengals are winning the Super Bowl. So I'm taking Bengals over Rams in Super Bowl 56. The home team is going to be losing. I honestly could change my mind, wake up tomorrow and think it's Chiefs over Rams. To me, those are the two scenarios. It's Chiefs over Rams, Bengals over Rams. But I'm going to go with the more exciting, a little more fun version, which is the Bengals one. So my Super Bowl is Bengals over Rams. Quinn's is Rams over Titans. Let's get back to the show.
So that means it's time for happy time, people. But today, for a special happy time, since we have not recorded for a decent time, it is a melancholy happy trails in memoriam of the following 6 people that have passed away over the last couple weeks while we took our hiatus. The first one is Sam Jones, who passed away on December 30th at the age of 88. Jones won 10 NBA championships with the Boston Celtics in the 50s and the 60s, and was the all-time leading scorer of the Celtics when he retired in 1969. He's only one of 6 Boston Celtics to score at least 50 points in one contest for them. Dan Reeves passed away on January 1st at the age of 77. Reeves made 9 Super Bowl appearances between his careers as a player, assistant coach, and head coach. 5 appearances with the Dallas Cowboys, with 2 Super Bowl wins, 1 coming as a player and 1 as an assistant coach. 3 appearances with the Denver Broncos as a head coach, and 1 appearance with the Atlanta Falcons as a head coach, their inaugural Super Bowl appearance. He is one of 2 coaches with 200 career wins not inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. Just recent news tonight that Bob Saget, the actor, has passed away at age 65 in a hotel room after doing a comedy show earlier this weekend. Bob Saget is known for his role as the father of 3 girls in Full House and its reboot of Fuller House. He also was the original host of America's Funniest Home Videos. Sidney Poitier passed away on January 6th at age 94. Poitier was a barrier breaker when it came to race relations and black actors in films in America. He starred in Porgy and Bess, A Raisin in the Sun, A Patch of Blue, Guess Who's Not Coming to Dinner, and one of his most famous ones, In the Heat of the Night, which is always played on Channel 7 routinely if you have DirecTV, Channel 7. He became the first black actor to win the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor for his performance in Lilies of the Field. He was awarded 2 highly earned honors. One was knighthood from Queen Elizabeth II, and the second was the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Barack Obama. John Madden passed away on December 28th at age 85, and earlier this year in our first season we honored his 85th birthday. He was the coach of the Oakland Raiders from 1969 to 1978, but he was more known as a color commentator, and the first one to work for all 4 major networks, beginning at CBS, then Fox, ABC, and NBC. He started out with Part Summerall and then ended his career partnered with Al Michaels for Sunday Night and Monday Night Football. He had a brief acting career, but more also known, it was his fear of flying, which led to him to take buses to all of his games while he coached. He became a sponsor for Greyhound Bus because of his fear of flying. And finally, probably the biggest death that overshadows all 5 of the previous ones we've mentioned is Betty White's death on December 31st at age 99. Betty White was going to turn 100 later this month, and it was already planned for us to honor her 100th birthday next week. She's known for these 2 major television roles, even though she had her own show multiple times. Sue Ann Nevins on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, and Rose Nyland on The Golden Girls. She was a staple on multiple game shows during the 1960s and 70s, along with some in the 1980s, such as Password and Password Plus, which were hosted by her third husband, Alan Ludden. Match Game, where she occupied the bottom right corner for multiple shows. Pyramid, Family Feud, and others. Little known about Betty White is that she was a volunteer for World War II under the American Women's Voluntary Services, where she met her first husband before they moved to Ohio after the war. Betty White was also known as a prominent animal welfare activist by raising money for conservation in her favorite charity, the Los Angeles Zoo Commission, which her and her husband, Alan Ludden, did multiple times on game shows. Ryan, anything to say about these 6 deaths that have happened over the past couple weeks?
I mean, there's a lot to be said. I mean, you really not a good way to cover all of it. I mean, you did a good job summing it up overall, but there's a lot to be said. I watched a lot of Full House as a kid, and so that really
And that was
me.
a shock one because that just happened tonight.
Yeah, it was just me looking at Cooper Kupp's stats, and bam, there that was. And
Yes,
that
it was on Twitter.
That really caught me off guard. And then Betty White, obviously, I mean, there's always been the saying where, Betty White's actually older than sliced bread.
Which is true, because she was older than sliced bread.
Yep.
By a few years, so there you go.
And so, that's always stuck with me. I know it sounds goofy, but that was like a thing. And then, of course, really the biggest one in effect on my life is John Madden. I've known who he is, just the name Madden, my entire life through, you and I just played a game of Madden like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we did. Was it 2 weeks?
I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Was it? Really? Was that long ago?
So, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit. We did Dolphins,
I guess it
Raiders.
was. Yeah.
Not Dolphins, Raiders.
Dolphins, Rams.
Yeah, you were the Rams. I got to be the Dolphins because we
Yes.
did randoms.
We did randoms, yes.
So,
and they're pretty even, actually, overall. 81 for the Dolphins, 84 for the Rams, which is kind of surprising.
Well, my rosters aren't updated, so you didn't have Odell.
Yeah, well, it's fine. I don't want him anyway.
Yeah, so, yeah. But,
I got a healthy Robert Woods instead, so that's why. I'll take the Robert Woods.
Take Robert Woods.
But
Odell did have a nice catch today. But overall, I mean, those are really important people. I mean, John Madden, Betty White especially have a big impact on, American culture. And so...
And Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
You got to get culture.
Yeah, I forgot.
You got to watch
yeah.
In the Heat of the Night.
I do need to watch that, so I didn't even think about that one. But yeah, those are some ones that stood out to me. But a lot of those big people, in the just American cultures, it's a really big deal.
Monumental pillars of American film and sports.
That's a good way to put it.
So, all right. Well, it's time for the big finish here for this week. And guess what?
You added it.
Well, you know what? Here's the problem. We can't do the big finish.
Why?
Because we don't know which scenario we're going to do for the AFC. So I guess we're going to have to say whichever scenario ends up on here.
I have a fun idea. Ryan's
got a fun idea.
First of all, can we do the NBA one?
We can do the NBA
We're doing the NBA one because did you see my tweet I sent out as kind of a joke? Hey, if anybody follows, I should mention this. I don't mention it often that we do have the Big Salad Twitter.
I think at the first video for the season you did.
Yeah,
you had mentioned
I had mentioned it, and I should mention it again. It's at Sort of Sports Pod. That is the handle for it, and the picture is obviously the same as the picture of the channel, which is Giannis holding the championship trophy, as it should be. And if you've noticed, most of my tweets I send, they're a good amount serious, but then I'll I will overly exaggerate some jokes on some stuff. So tonight, just to be funny, the Warriors playing the Cavs. Klay Thompson, his first game back in 918 days. I retweeted a StatMuse stat about how Ja Morant was back. Wasn't even in the NBA last time Klay played a game. That's pretty wild. So a lot's changed since he's been back. I just saw he had a big play. Right now it's at halftime. And I made a joke and tweeted out preview of the 2022 NBA Finals. Cavs Warriors tonight because the Warriors been rolling, and my Cavs, they're coming into being a heck of a team. They've been a shocker team. So I'm riding that Cavs hype train and making jokes about it, but I'm also kind of serious. It's kind of like the Bengals pick, where I'm like, You know, if it happens, I look like a genius, and if not, everybody knows I was kind of joking and just let my heart talk. So
Yes.
what I'm saying is, my fun idea. I had forgot about my fun idea. My fun idea for the big finish was if we have to predict.
AFC.
Here's what we'll do. This is a big finish that will last us years. You ready for this? Right now, we pick Super Bowl 57 matchup, 58, and 59.
I'm not doing
Why
that.
not? Why not?
That's
It's
way
just
too
blind
far
shot.
out.
It's just
It's
blind
way too
shot.
far out.
It's blind shot.
It's way too far
Fine.
out.
What if we pick 57? That's the big
No.
finish. Would it be fun?
No.
That'd be fun.
I gotta get through 56 before I even think about 57.
But we can just blind shot it.
No.
That'd be fun for the big finish.
Wrong.
You don't want to do
Wrong. No.
it? Why not? Just to make
I'm not
it blind.
interested.
Because then if you're close, it's like, hey, good work.
I know, but I don't want to be close. I don't want to know until we get there.
All right. Well, then
Okay.
why are we doing the predictions now for
Well,
this?
then, I guess here's the thing. The big finish will count on what the predictions are that we've made already, that we'll hear, the playoff predictions.
Well, we already did those earlier in my
Yes,
special
so we already know
section.
those. Well, then we know that. Then we're going to take those as the big finish thing. Can we copy that?
So wait, what do you mean? What do you want to do?
I say we pick the NBA one, and then whatever the scenario is has to go in for the AFC, then we're good.
Oh, well, I probably put that in with the playoff predictions.
I know that. Well, then we'll just say, okay, whatever those were, that was the big finish. Those were the big finish picks, and go on.
Oh, okay.
Is that fine? Or we can
you
do this.
don't-
Here's a crazy idea. We get to AFC, and you know how it says Chiefs versus Raiders here. We can say, because of three scenarios, you could say Ryan in all three scenarios took the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, true.
Is that fine? Can we handle that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, I got
Let's
all
do
the
that.
notes here.
Let's do it. Do you want me
All
to
right.
cut all this or keep it in?
No, we'll keep it in. We'll keep the banter.
All right.
Okay. All right, so first, big finish, starting now. First in the NBA tonight, Warriors versus Cavs. Who you got?
Gotta take the Warriors just because Klay Thompson's back and they're probably gonna get the win. It's not indicative of the 2022 NBA Finals, though.
No, I'm taking the Warriors as well. I think Klay Thompson's going to have a good homecoming to come back. NFC, Bucks versus Eagles. Who you got?
I
Super
took
Wild Card
Eagles.
Weekend.
I took Eagles.
Yes, you did, and I took the Bucks. And who you got for Cowboys Niners?
I took the Niners, and so did you.
I took the Niners as well, and Rams Cardinals.
This is where we split, right?
No, we
you
both took Rams.
We both have a Rams
We both
Super
took
Bowl.
the Rams.
The
Yes,
Rams.
all right.
We split Bucks Eagles.
All right, in the AFC, you got. All right, first game is Chiefs versus Raiders or Steelers. Who
Doesn't
you
matter
got?
who wins. I took Chiefs no matter what.
All right, I took my first two scenarios, the Chiefs, the last one, the Steelers. So that's how it goes there. And Bills versus Chargers and Raiders.
Anytime it's Chargers, they win. If it's Raiders, the Bills win.
All right, I did the same as well. I took Chargers the first two and Bills the last one. And then the last one, Bengals versus Pats. You remember which ones you did?
I went Pats, Bengals, Pats.
That's exactly right. And I went Pats, Bengals. So there you go. That's how it is. And that is it for Super Wildcard Weekend. Any shout-outs? What do you got?
Well, I'm just going to throw it out there since you didn't want to. My Super Bowl 57 matchup. You ready? This is going to be a fun one. Mm-hmm. We're going to, just because it's a shot in the dark. Pew, pew, shot in the dark. Eagles. Do I believe? Where does Aaron Rodgers go? Bengals? Not Bengals, sorry. Where does Aaron Rodgers go? The Broncos?
Steelers.
Steelers? You want me to do the Steelers just for you?
No. You do whatever you want.
Wherever Aaron Rodgers goes in the AFC, so we're going to go, you know what? We'll make it fun. He goes to the Broncos. Here it is.
Okay.
The matchup is Eagles-Broncos Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. And we're on Fox.
Yep.
All right, I'm taking my shout out to Amy Schneider, who is the first woman to ever win $1 million on Jeopardy. She just hit it on Friday, 28-game winning streak right now, and it's been a really good season. We've had 3 winners that have hit double-digit wins. Matt Amodio to start off, who won over $1.5 million. Jonathan Fisher, who dethroned Matt Amodio, won 10 straight games, and now Amy has won 28 straight. We'll see how far she goes. Can she catch up with Matt within the next 2 weeks? Thank you for listening.
Wait, I have a thank you.
Go. I thought you were thanking already.
No, I had a
What's your
thank you. I had a special thank you.
Go.
My special thank you goes to Michael Jordan because I saw they have this really nice court for the Hornets when they wear their city jerseys. It's got they do the court blue with like white wood, and it's got the old Hornet bouncing the basketball. Looks great. Most watchable team in the NBA. Very fun team. Cavs are also one of the most watchable anymore. Cavs are awesome. So I just thank Michael Jordan. You were really not that impressive as an owner for a bit there with Kemba Walker and all that, but ever since you got LaMelo, you've turned that franchise and their entertainment value through the roof. And so thank you, Michael Jordan. And I was watching The Last Dance last night, and I was like, man, really is the greatest basketball player of all time, no matter what Quinn says. So thank you, Michael Jordan, for your ownership. He doesn't get thanked much for that. So.
That's right. All right. I love you, and we'll see you here on the podcast. Bye-bye. This is Quinn Masego speaking for the Big Salad Podcast, a Ryan Klinger production. Please note that portions of this podcast were edited before the final cut was produced, and this episode was recorded on January 9th. The sections of Happy Time and The Big Finish are copied from the ESPN show Pardon the Interruption. There was no intention to infringe on the copyrights of these segments and their related music. Stay tuned for our next podcast next Monday here on the Sort of Sports Podcast YouTube channel. And stay with us. We have bonus bloopers here for this episode. Option 1. All right, so, Ryan, who are you taking? Chiefs versus Chargers.
Got it. So we're going with this scenario. All right. This is a doomsday match. The AFC matchup like this is terrible for me. It's absolutely terrible. It lined up so badly. All the teams I like, I hate this. I hate this so much. The way this lined up is abysmal. But because the Bengals play the Patriots, the Chiefs play Chargers. I hate this one because I think this is going to be much more of a game than people think. The records, to me, don't really matter that much. I think it really just comes down to what quarterback you trust more at this point. Mm-hmm. Or what defense do you trust more. Mm-hmm. I trust the Chiefs' defense more than I trust the Chargers by a mile. But Herbert's really been outplaying Mahomes as of late. And the Chargers are trending at the right time. So I want to take the Chargers, but I'm going to go Chiefs. I said it 3 weeks ago that we were going to get to playoff time, and I was going to start getting back with my boy Mahomie. I'm loving my guy Mahomie again. I trust him. It's this playoffs about who you trust, and I trust Patrick Mahomes boy.
Yep, I'm taking the Chiefs as well. I think the Chiefs have drastically improved. The Chargers.
I love you, Herbert.
Regressed, and I'm going to get the numbers right here, real quick. And the numbers are Chiefs beat them in overtime. And remember that thriller game on Thursday night. Remember the Chargers beat them the first time, 30-24, in a thriller game there that afternoon in September.
If this really ends up being the scenario, Quinn, like this matchup,
I don't know if it's actually that viable because I really probably should have looked into this a little bit more. This actually might not be viable because they might hold the tiebreaker over the. Okay, so right now because they win the tiebreaker based on head-to-head win percentage. So if they tie, I guess they could flip-flop. Well, then, because it can flip-flop, because you know why? They're conference games. It goes to conference.
So could this happen, what we're doing right now?
This can happen, because you know why? See right here? It's by head-to-head. But then they're going to have to go by division.
Oh, my, yeah.
And then division actually know that if they go by division, that means the Chargers definitely are going to have to be the 6th seed. So
if they tie, we're doing the tie scenario right now.
Yeah, well, guess what? They can't be... The Chargers cannot be...
So this doesn't matter.
This doesn't even matter. So who cares about option 1? This is correct.
Yeah, screw this. This doesn't matter.
Screw it. All right. This is it. Okay, folks.
Let's do it this order. Do the scenario where the Chargers win tonight first. Then do the scenario where the Raiders win tonight. Then do the scenario... You know what I mean? Do the Steelers option.
Well, we're still tying, but I guess we should correct it. It should be Chiefs versus Raiders. You're still taking the Chiefs.
No, we need to redo the whole set now. We have to redo the whole set.
Okay.
So let's do this again.
Cut it. All right. Cut it. I said cut it. Option 1 here now. Chiefs versus Raiders. Who are you taking?
All right. So now we're going on our first scenario. Sorry for laughing. We messed up. We thought that this was possible to be the Chargers. Thank the Lord it's not. I love the Chargers just because of Herbert, and I would hate for it to be Chiefs Chargers. We're gonna go with Chiefs here. I'm very proud of the Raiders if they win the Sunday night game. Great work to you guys.
Well, this is in the tie. This is in the tie scenario.
So this is the tie scenario? Well, then never mind. Very proud for you guys for kneeling in at the end or whatever that ended with. This is the least likely scenario, so this will probably never air. This is bonus features on the Big Salad documentary that comes out when Quinn is president, guys. Yes, this is on the bonus feature. Yeah. The Sort of Special. That's what it's called. The Sort of Special.
I'm taking the Chiefs as well.
I'm taking the Chiefs in this
scenario.
They
just beat the brakes off the Raiders a few weeks ago, so why would anybody...
The Raiders can't hang with them. They can. If this happens...
The Steelers played better against the Chiefs than the Raiders did.
Yeah, exactly. No, the Chiefs are a better team.
Come on. So, all right. Bills versus Chargers. Who you got?
Chargers. I said it. There it is. I said it.
Taking them.
He's
taking the Chargers.
If it's Mahomes or it's Herbert, I can't bet against them. I love them both. I can't do it. Cam Newton, you've fallen out of my top 3 favorites because you disappointed me this year. I can't take another heartbreak from you, Cam Newton. You broke my heart too many times. Herbert and Mahomes, I can always trust. There you go, boys. So, Mahomes and Herbert, taking them both. And this next game, I don't even want to bet on the next game, the Bengals-Patriots game. It hurts me too bad.
This is a tough one here, and I'm pretty sure they played each other this year. So let me just look at the schedule real quick. And if I can go back. No, they did not play.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. So I am going to go.
You're going to go Bills.
I know I'm leaning Bills because I originally picked them, but
They've been running Josh Allen.
I might want to go Chargers though instead.
Do it.
I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. I am going to go with the Chargers. You kind of convinced me there with the Bolts. So I think because the Bills secondary is hurt a little bit now, and the Chargers are going to air it out, but they also have Austin Eckler who's going to run the ball well. So that's going to give it a balance.
Heck of a running back.
Yep. And the Bills can't run.
No, heck no. They're better off to run up Josh Allen.
The Chargers are way better at goal to go defense. So that's their strength.
Yep.
But all right, your game. You don't want to pick Bengals Patriots. I'll go first just to save you the agony.
Thank you.
All right, I'm taking the Patriots for the upset here, and which is crazy. But the reason I'm taking the Patriots is, and let me go back here real quick. They did not play each other this year. They played the Browns. So, I think Bill Belichick will come out scheming. His defense will be ready to go to take away Jamar Chase. Where's Joe Burrow going to go? He's not going to have anywhere to go, and I think they'll bottle up Joe Mixon because they have a very good rushing defense. Offensively wise, if Mac Jones just has his consistency and goes down the field, that gives the Patriots win right there.
Well, Quinn, Burrow at LSU is probably my favorite college football player to ever play. Like that one year. Like in a single year is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And him playing the way he played with the Bengals has pretty much regained him as being one of my favorite players in the league. He's probably in my top 3 anymore now that Cam Newton broke my heart too many times, as I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. And this is the one game that every single scenario, because we got to do this 2 more times for the outcome of the Sunday Night Football game. This is the one game that I actually just might change. Even though this is not going to change, I might just change my pick every time because I can't decide on this game because on the one hand, I just love the way the Bengals play football. They've got the best wide receiving core in the league. Mm-hmm. 2 guys over 1,000 yards. I think, did Boyd pass over 1,000?
I'm looking, but it's taking a long time to load anything.
So I'm saying he had a great. That Bengals team's so good. The offensive line, they proved everybody wrong. Burrow's been amazing, like we all knew he'd be. And
Can you make a choice? Can you make one?
I love what they're doing, but it's Belichick. Take the Pats. He's gonna ski. What did they play this Saturday? No, they didn't play Saturday. They played today and won. He's right now at home, and he spent the last 10 hours watching film. So,
yeah.
Belichick is gonna try to shut down the receivers. So, I think Belichick gets the win.
All right, Titans Chargers then in the divisional. Who you got?
See, I don't like this matchup at all. Because it's pass heavy versus King Henry's first game back. So I hate this heavily. Like I can't stand this matchup.
I do as well. But
I really wish
the worst rushing defense, one of the worst rushing defenses in the league.
I really wish I could get this to be Titans Bengals or Titans Pats. But I'm gonna have to. It just depends how much do I trust Henry after injury. That's really what it boils down to. Quinn, this is horrible. I hate doing the AFC. NFC was so easy. Yeah, do go first.
Okay, I'm taking the Chargers for the upset here because I think I'm nuts. And I think they'll air it out. They are not very good on the defensive back end for the Titans. Their front is very stout, and the Chargers don't have to run the ball to move the ball. They air it out a lot, so that's going to be my thing. The Titans, I love Derrick Henry. I think he'll have a big game against one of the worst rushing defenses, but I just think his unfamiliarity will not allow him and Tannehill to gel back together just because he's been out 8 weeks.
I'm so upset with myself. I'm gonna go Titans. I don't trust the Charger defense enough. Herbert will play an amazing game and they won't make it. I can just picture it in my brain. Titans the AFC title. Do it.
Okay. Chiefs Patriots. Who you got? You can go first on this one. You want to tear your heart over on this one?
Yeah. My favorite player in football.
Because we're pro AFC. This is the problem. This is why it's so.
And my favorite player in football against, in my opinion, the greatest football coach of all time.
Well, it's well off there.
But Mahomes had a down year. Pat's been going. It's kind of felt like the Pats' year to lose since, like, what, week 10? Hasn't it? I mean, it felt like they've been pretty trustworthy.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs haven't been trustworthy. They've been frisky. Frisky. So, if this was Bengals, Pats, AFC title. Oh, crap, Quinn. I have a lot of teams and players I like in the AFC. I mean, all three of my favorite quarterbacks are in the AFC. The only thing I really like in the NFC is my favorite team, which is the Panthers. So,
time's up, buddy boy. You got to make a choice.
Chiefs. I trust Mahomes in the big game.
Taking the chalks.
I trust Mahomes in the big games.
Okay.
It's that simple.
I'm taking the Chiefs as well. I think Belichick will still scheme against him, but I don't think Mac Jones will be able to survive that Chief defense.
This
here.
could be
on the Chiefs defense this time.
Honestly, this Chiefs playoff. I mean, what the Chiefs been going through. I mean, we've got so many great matchups over the next couple of years. We get Herbert, Mahomes, Mac Jones, Mahomes. Like the AFC is just stacked with talent at quarterback. A lot of great matchups you're going to see. And this Patriots Chiefs matchup. Get used to seeing that. You're going to see a lot over the next couple of years.
I think we can. All right, your championship here. Who you taking?
2019.
You got Titan Chiefs.
Chiefs.
It's in Tennessee.
Chiefs.
Okay. I'm taking the Chiefs as well over the Chargers. I think they'll get them again this time over a close one.
Oh, I like yours so much more as the AFC title.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's so much more fun.
It's so cute.
I mean, mine is just Derek plowing through people or Mahomes bombing it in. Yeah,
that's a visual right there.
No, it's Derrick Henry running through everyone. That's still not as good.
Who are you taking? Rams, Chiefs. Who you got? Super Bowl.
It's felt like it's been this scenario a lot in people's heads ever since the Chiefs fixed everything. And I've been dreaming of this game. I love this matchup.
I'm dreaming of a great
Super Bowl 56.
Just like the ones I used to know. Who you got?
Like Super Bowl 52. What a classic. Chiefs. I'm doing it.
Taking the Chiefs?
I couldn't.
Don't worry. I'm taking LA all the way, baby. California dreaming. It's the Rams.
Mahomes is going to outplay Matty. Matty Stafford's going to get outplayed by Patrick Mahomes.
It's Rams, though. It's Rams.
I think the Rams are the better team. I think Mahomes just outplays them. I think Mahomes is unschemable against. He's like Rodgers that way. The only way you can beat his teams is if you shut down his receivers and your defense. Like, it's really you have to beat them with the receivers. You can't beat the player. So that's my thing of Mahomes, is you can't beat him. And playoff Mahomes is a different breed, I think. So let's move into the next scenario. Well, playoff Mahomes, I think, is a different breed. I mean, every playoff he's played in the AFC title or the Super Bowl. Granted, he's only had 3, but I'm saying he's went to the AFC title, then 2 Super Bowls. He went AFC loss, AFC championship, Super Bowl.
I know.
He's had those 3. So I think no Super Bowl. Let's move over to the next scenario.
Right. Turn tape off. Part 7. Whatever it is. Option 2. All right. Chiefs, Steelers to start out the wild card for the AFC. Who you got, Ryan?
Chiefs. I'm sorry, Steelers. It was great. Mike Tomlin, you gained my respect. Quinn is right about you. You truly are one of the best. Figure out what you're doing at quarterback next year because you guys got a nice team. But it's Patrick Mahomes boy. Come on.
Well, I haven't decided which one I'm going to take the Steelers in because I'm just going to do it just for fun. I'm going to take...
You're not taking the freaking Steelers. We just ran... Wait. Let me play this out for the listeners. We just ran the scenario, because we have to do the 3 scenarios. We just ran the scenario where they tied, where the Steelers don't make it, and he takes the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl and lose to the Rams. So if he's taking a team that he thought could potentially be in the Super Bowl, but then the Steelers come in, there's no way. His team tied with the Lions.
Shit! Rudolph was at the helm there, not leading Santa's sleigh too well. It's the Chiefs here. I'm taking the Chiefs. All right? Who you got? Bills, Chargers in this scenario again.
I think it's the most likely scenario. And last time I said, I love my guy Herb, never been high on the Bills. The best way for the Bills to run the ball is give it to Josh Allen, honestly, because their running backs aren't doing anything. Chargers going to tear them up. This is my best case scenario, I want to say, is where the Chargers win, because then I can get Chargers beating Bills, and the only matchup I hate is the next one, which still hurts me. I've already picked it once in another scenario. I don't have to pick it again.
I'm taking the Chargers.
So Chargers over Bills.
I take the Chargers in the first scenario. Taking the Chargers, I think they're going to be playing the Titans again. And then the last one, Ryan's heartstrings again, Bengals Patriots. Who you taking this time?
Last time we did this, when we did it for the tie scenario, I took the Pats because Belichick and he can out-scheme anybody.
Yes.
Except Mahomes, because that was my FC title, and I took
Yes.
Mahomes. This is weird. It's like we have alternate universes.
Bizarro.
Yeah, Bizarro.
Bizarro.
Sort of sports podcast, No Way Home. I mean, all the multiverse.
Don't know where we're going.
Quinn Maseko in the multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
No? You don't want to be in the new Doctor Strange movie?
I don't want to. Dr. Strangelove?
Well, I did say that Burrow's 2019 LSU year is like one of my favorite, if not my favorite college football player of all time. I loved what Burrow did there. He's blew me away, and I'm so glad he's been this way in the NFL. Cam Newton's broke my heart too many times. He's no longer in my top 3 favorite quarterbacks in the league at the moment. Burrow's taken a spot. I mean, I loved him in college. Right now, 13-10 Chargers coming into the half. Not at the half. 2 minutes left.
Now they just got the extra point. 14-10.
14-10.
Go
Good.
ahead.
Good. So, watch this. What if it ends in a freaking tie? Oh, my gosh.
It can't end in a tie. This is sudden death. You have to score now. These are the
No, I'm talking about the Raiders game.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, what are you talking about? This ain't
Sorry.
can't go
I'm
to
getting
a
off
tie.
I'm getting way off
Taking
topic.
the Bengals or the Patriots?
I took the Patriots last time because they can out-scheme anybody. They're just going to run the football. Can the Bengals defend it? Burrow's got the best wide receiving core in the league.
Right here. Circular logic.
I know. Cincinnati.
Okay. Ryan's in the Bengals. I'm taking the Patriots. Taking the Patriots here, and
I really shouldn't have taken Cincinnati.
Same reason as Ryan was laying out for me. The Patriots will out-scheme anybody. I think that's what Bill Belichick's going to do.
I don't want to take the Bengals. Change it.
Changing it? Okay.
No, keep it. Going Bengals.
This is it.
We're
Final
going Bengals.
answer.
We're going Bengals.
Done. All right.
Because now it's 1-1. So the next scenario is a tiebreaker.
Titans versus Chargers. Who you got?
Titans, Chargers, who I got. I don't like this matchup because it's Derrick Henry running the football a lot, and Justin Herbert.
Not plowing
deep
through
ball. Yeah,
people.
not plowing through people. No, never again. No, we're not using that image. Justin Herbert throwing
I
it.
wanted that image, though.
No. Last time I took Titans because I can just see the Chargers falling apart. I just think the Chargers don't have as much to play for as the Titans. Everybody's fighting back because Henry's back. I think Ken Henry's going to bring it in. So, Titans to the AFC title.
I'm taking the Titans here as well. I think the Titans are. I think Derrick Henry's going to. I expect 150, 200 yards for him in this game. He's going to be fresh, ready to go, and the Chargers' defense is the worst in rushing in the league. Not the worst, but one of the worst because the Steelers are the worst. Chiefs, Bengals for you, Ryan. Who you got?
I feel like now that I've taken the Bengals, I should just take them all the way to the Super Bowl.
I think you might will because they already beat the Chiefs once.
I should do it. Take them to play the Rams. But it's playoff Mahomes. Can they do it against playoff Mahomes? That's the question. I think this is so tough, Quinn.
You want me to take my game first?
You go first.
All right, I'm taking the Patriots over the Chiefs here. I think Belichick.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you don't have the same matchup.
That way. So there you go, Titans versus Patriots in my AFC Championship.
I like that game. Man, I root for the Patriots all the way to the Super Bowl then. If it's Patriots-Rams Super Bowl, I think the Pats win that. I think they lock them down. I just don't think the Pats are going to get to the Super Bowl. Because as much as I like them to, I can't get a bet. I can't see a scenario where they can beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game. That's my issue. And if they do, they're winning the Super Bowl. To me, that's it. If they can beat Mahomes, they're winning the Super Bowl. The Patriots. Chiefs, Bengals. What was the score when they played? Can you please give it to me? I'm just
34-31.
So it's close. I think Burrow's just been the man lately. Bengals.
All right, who you got? Titans, Bengals.
Bengals. If they're made it this far, they're going all the way.
I'm taking the Titans here. I think Henry will rip it again on the Patriots.
I think us doing multiple scenarios is making us get riskier and riskier with our picks.
So the Patriots destroyed the Titans earlier this year. No Derrick Henry, so I think that's going to change the whole form for Bill Belichick's plan. So who you got now? Rams, Bengals in the Super Bowl.
If this is the Super Bowl, I need to go.
The first ever win for the Bengals. Do they get it?
It doesn't feel like their magical year yet, though.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's all come together.
Okay.
I think if we get to this point,
the
Rams have always been. Here's the thing. It's the ultimate matchup in my eyes. Not ultimate. To me, the Chiefs-Rams is the ultimate matchup. I'm saying narrative-wise.
Peter Gabriel on that, by the way. He didn't know that.
What?
Peter Gabriel on that song. But anyway.
Yeah. To me, the ultimate matchup is the Chiefs-Rams or the potentially Patriots-Rams. But Chiefs-Rams is the best case scenario from viewership and just from me being interested in everything. But the Bengals one is very interesting, too, because it's underdog that everybody thought would be last in their division with a great quarterback, with wide receivers that stepped it up. And then, a team that everybody on paper knew was going to be in the Super Bowl and is. So there's no surprising and shock. And if the Bengals made it this far, they're winning the whole thing. So Cincinnati Bengals, Super Bowl, us doing multiple picks, I think is making me get riskier and riskier. But to me, if the Bengals can beat the Patriots, I think they're going all the way. Because I think their toughest matchup is the Pats and the Chiefs. And if they beat both those, then they're going all the way. So, yeah, Bengals.
I'm taking the Rams over the Titans here. And,
that makes sense. That makes complete sense from your scenario.
They played here in the regular season, I believe. So I'm going to get the record pulled up real quick. Yes, right here. The Titans won 28-16 in L.A., but I think the Rams will be better this time, better prepared for the rushing defense against Derrick Henry, because he was still playing here when they I'm sorry, he was not playing there, so actually that might scheme them differently, that they're running the ball more, so maybe that helps them out. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm going to take that, and that's how I'm going to go. I'm taking the Rams. Super Bowl. Stop tape. Number 4.
I almost think it'd be interesting if we kept it, all the takes in, so then you can just enjoy all our crazy banter, but I'm not going to. I'm going to cut it. I just think it's funny.
Then you cut it and you add it to the end and say, here are the bloopers at the end of the.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll put them all at the end and be like, here's the.
Now we put this at the end of the bloopers.
Yeah, the alternate scenarios, just us talking.
So
well,
right
we'll
here.
see you all in the next episode, I guess.
Exactly. So, all right. Option 3. All right, in the AFC, Chiefs versus Steelers. Who you got, Ryan?
Chiefs, easily. Mike Tomlin, you've gained my respect. You're really as good as Quinn says you are. I'm very proud. You guys got to figure out what you're doing with quarterback next year. Great job, Najee Harris. Good year, guys. Way to keep it up, Tomlin. It's my homeboy, favorite player in the league. Win.
All right. Ben, he is going out on a high note, but it's just not this game yet. I'm being a homer and taking the Steelers for a big upset here, and Ryan's going to think I'm nuts, but guess what? I'm just telling you right now that that's how it's going to be.
Wait, what?
I just took the Steelers.
What?
Yes. My homeboy is going to turn it over 4 times or get on the COVID list.
Us doing multiple takes is ruining everything. It's just getting wild.
I'm just kidding. If Mahomes throws 5 interceptions, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm still taking the Steelers. But if he does, the Steelers should be winning that game. Who you got?
Well, you're taking the Steelers over the Chiefs.
I am, for this scenario only. Okay.
This Raiders win is a nightmare doomsday.
Bills versus Raiders, who you taking?
This is like when hell freezes over, the sun turns red. It's Ragnarok. What is it?
What is this?
The Rapture.
Farm? Is
the
this
Rapture.
1984? Is this Fahrenheit 451?
Yeah, this is it's all gone. It's all gone. All of it.
Nomadland. Who you taking? Bills, Raiders.
I hate this matchup. This better not freaking happen. This is disgusting. This is gross. This smells horrible. I hate it.
It smells bad.
It smells terrible.
It smells real bad.
I hate everything about this matchup. It's the Bills. I mean, they're the better team. The Raiders can't keep it up that long. That's gross. I don't like this matchup at all. It was so much better when we got to make it Chargers-Bills. Watch this be the actual freaking scenario, just so we get this gross game at 1 o'clock that no one will watch. Because it's disgusting. And if the Raiders win, if the Raiders freaking win, it's a cakewalk for the Bengals-Patriots win, which I don't even want to pick that game. I've done it twice now, and I hated both times picking it.
I'm taking the Bills as well. They're not. The Raiders aren't going to beat these Bills. I think people are just gullible if they think that the Bills. I don't think they played during this season. I can't recollect that they did. The Raiders, no, they did not play. So there you go. All right, Bengals versus Patriots. Who you got? I can go first if you want me to.
In the last scenario, I took the Bengals, which then prompted me to take them to win the Super Bowl over the Rams. This was a very wild scenario. With this one, I just think if the Bengals win this game and they play the Chiefs and beat them, they're winning the Super Bowl. But I think Belichick can out-scheme anyone. Bill Belichick, Patriots win.
I'm going to take the Bengals here, and I think Burrow's going to have a big game and decimate the Patriots secondary right here. AFC North.
This.
Bengals and the Bengals, if you don't know who those are the Bengals cheerleaders. They will win right there in Cincinnati. All right, Ryan, who you got?
I can just picture in my brain.
Who you got?
Joe Burrow, my third favorite quarterback. Cam Newton's broke my heart too many times. I've said that on every scenario because I'm upset. I don't like this Bengals-Patriots matchup. I want to take the Bengals, and I took the Patriots. I'm getting actually you're seeing me over here. I'm getting neurotic by how upset I am for this matchup.
Neurotic? Okay.
Neurotic.
Oh, neurotic. I thought, whoa, neurotic about
No,
that.
wrong.
Okay.
No.
See, this is why we're hearing aids, folks. All right. Titans, Patriots, who you got in the divisional?
Pats, easily. They will shut down King Derrick Henry. I'm sorry, King Henry. King Derrick is not the joke.
Him the first time
it's
this
King
season,
Henry.
so.
I understand that, but I think Belichick can out-scheme anybody. So
I have Titans, Steelers. And the Steelers beat the Titans already once this year.
No.
But there was no Derrick Henry, and my Steelers have the worst rushing defense in the league. So I'm taking the Titans.
Okay. He finally comes to his sense. You're gonna have to put the Titans in the Super Bowl. It's gonna be them or Bengals, because you better not put the freaking Bills. That's just
Chiefs
nasty.
versus Bills,
I don't
yeah.
care. What if the Raiders?
Chiefs versus Bills.
What if the Raiders win Sunday Night Football, and this is your actual prediction?
Well, then you know what? It might happen. Ben might throw for 400 yards. You never know.
Oh
what's
my
gonna
gosh.
happen.
Chiefs, what was it? You said Chiefs, Bills? Gross. Chiefs, easily. This might, did the Bills even score a touchdown? Come on, shut
I'm
up.
pretty sure they already beat them once this year, didn't they?
Yeah, but that was completely different. That
Oh.
was back when the Bills were good.
Oh, and the Bills are not good because they're 11
stinky.
and 6.
They're gross.
Oh, okay.
I don't like them.
I got Bills Bengals. I'm taking the Bills here. And
Ew, they would not beat the Bengals.
yes,
Come on.
yes, they are. They're going to beat the Bengals. So,
I forgot to mention, Zach Taylor really proved the fact he needs his job. I mean, he did a good job. He did a good
I still
job.
think it'd be better with a different coach. But that's
Okay.
me.
Stefanski.
No. All right. Who you got? Chiefs, Patriots.
Oh, I love this one. See, I like this one because it's two teams I like, and it's late scenario, so you can be proud of them instead of Bengals Patriots early on, which just makes me sad to see them get knocked out in the wild card spot. I really like this scenario, but I think Belichick can't out-scheme Mahomes boy. So, Mahomes to the Super Bowl. I have two scenarios now with the Rams Chiefs Super Bowl.
There you go. Now, the Titans and the Bills already played this year. And if I
Wait, that's your AFC title?
That is my
Which is what you
title.
predicted at the beginning of the year.
Yes, I did. And the Titans, 34-31, won the regular season matchup. I predicted this at the beginning of the year. I'm taking the Bills here, and I'm going to ride with my Super Bowl prediction, Bills versus Rams, but I'm changing it this time. It's not going to be the Bills. It's the Rams taking home the Super Bowl, and my Duke of the Devils there. What do you got?
So you are the Rams every scenario on the planet
scenario.
Earth. Every universe.
Every scenario I gave.
Every end game ends with them winning.
Yes,
This isn't
over any
Doctor
of my
Strange
AFC champs.
end
Nope.
game. Nope.
Nope.
Every
What you
scenario.
got? Who
The
you
Avengers
got?
cannot win.
You got Chiefs, Rams. Who you taking?
You know who I'm taking.
I know, you're taking the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes boy. There's another one, as DJ Khaled would say. I mean, this is coming in.
DJ Khaled.
We the best quarterback. Another one.
Hey, all I do is win.
Yeah,
Win.
that's what Mahomes
Win,
says.
no matter what.
Yeah, bro. yeah, you know me. Huge DJ Khaled fan, guys. No, I'm not.
Anyway.
I'm just kidding. But point is, Mahomes is the best quarterback, and he'll prove it when he beats the Rams, and he turned their entire season around when even his biggest lover, me, doubted him and the Chiefs.
go.
And he came back from it, and they win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 56 will be going back to Kansas City. That'll be the call on NBC from Al Michael. So, Al Michaels. So, well, that's it. We've done all the scenarios.
Those are all the scenarios. So that means it's time for Happy Time, people.